but that's not nearly as fun. And we're live, everyone. Hello, welcome. When last we left our heroes, we took a break for the holiday season, but now we're back. Who wants to give the synopsis? Just kidding. It's my turn.
Just kidding. In comes fucking Snortley.
Just kidding. With the heroes leaving limping out of Queen's Landing after the Dark-Eyed Prince made himself known with his retinue in tow and the death of Shipmaster Doman, we find ourselves on the turtle bus going northernly through the forests, the sands, all the various climates that are between you and Cape Solomon in the Kingdom of Alexandria. It was a long journey, a few days, few weeks, I believe, and you came across a few people. You met the postwoman Mary, I believe her name was, and had a few run-ins with bandits here or there. But for the most part, it's just been you trying to live out your best days, with one particular standpoint incident kind of sticking out of your brain. Valerie's meeting with the moon. While you were out looking for Allfield, one of the towns to the northern areas, you came across a wide, flat expanse of desert that does not come across as anything that you are familiar with on any map. And that is when Valerie saw what appeared to be a moon in the sky, though evidently it was an eye. It tried to brainwash the party to stepping out into the open area where strange, spectral-like creatures seemed to be waiting for you to do what? You're not quite sure. Luckily, nobody was siren-songed out into the wilderness, but who knows what would have happened. Afterwards, your party continued northward to Allfield, where you found it completely submerged in sands, buried in the dunes. With Fire Spray Ray paying his respects and the four of you piling back into the turtle bus, you make towards the newest area on your map, the closest area on your map of New Haven, an old town off the beaten path. You arrived there to a mostly small, reclusive town, barely anybody out on the streets, nothing besides like grain and corn and other resources left out on wagons. And though you found someplace willing to house you for the night, you were met with a cold reception. During the process, you were accosted by an individual named Umber, trying to buy your weapons off of you, and though you denied her, you did agree to assist her when later that evening, several bandits dressed in black came rampaging through the streets, much darker and more violently than the rest of the party might have been expecting when it came to bandits. Together with your newfound NPCs, the Wandering Swordsman Miyamoto and the Wandering Marksman Quill and Fire Spray Ray, you beat back, for the most part, the horde of encroaching dark riders. And though you didn't kill anyone or lay out any bodies on the streets, you seem to have wounded them severely enough to cause a retreat. Their leader, a man in black armor on a black horse with twisting black horns, almost killed Umber and Gareth and Miyamoto with one strong magical blast, like a fireball, and though it was devastating, the three survived. You've collected your things, you've rested for the evening, and that is where we are going to pick up. I believe Valerie's going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I am, but something happened.
And so is Miyamoto.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
I'm messed up.
That's a hangover day if I've ever heard.
Everything's fine.
You're not going to be too punished, Valerie, for your drunken night of revelry. However, at some point during the day, you're going to have disadvantage on a skill check, but you don't know when.
Yeah.
You can just feel it. You got bad luck. The status debuff, bad luck.
I love Chekhov's gun.
It's just
It's
waiting.
gonna be a special tool to help us later.
Azdarine has placed painkillers and a glass of water on the side table for Valerie.
The party.
Not Miyamoto though. He can just deal.
I'm in the same
Gareth.
room as Valerie.
Miyamoto
I'm
succeeded
bunking with
first
her.
of all.
Gareth,
Yes.
you wake up slowly, head kind of hurting, body kind of aching. You're resting splayed out over a twin-sized bed, and your head tilts forward. Around you, you look to your left and right, and you see Miyamoto on the floor, face down. And Fire Spray Ray off behind as well, just dunked in the corner of the room. I believe that's where we last left these heroes. after Brew killed Valerie and Azarine threw them in.
Wait, we threw Ray in here too?
I'm pretty sure we
I
did.
think he crawled in there by himself.
You might have crawled in there. Either way, he's in the corner. You don't know how or why. You were out for it anyway.
Oh. God. Garrett just kind of slowly sits up. Hey, DM.
Yes, my dear fellow.
I have exhaustion. I have a point exhaustion, don't I? Because I'm still in my armor.
No, well, if I'm gonna have exhaustion for sleeping in armor, then that's a result of a homebrew rule, because as it turns out, all that happens if you're sleeping in armor is you recover less hit die. But I think that's, I don't know, man. I'll think about it, but for now I'm gonna play it by the rules. If you sleep in your armor and long rest, you just recover half as many hit die as you should.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go with that for now. And since in this game we're doing some other homebrew rules that make hit die a lot more valuable, I think that might be punishment enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that feels like actually way worse than having exhaustion.
Yeah, and exhaustion only lasts till the end of the day, but having a less hit die can string you out for a long while, unfortunately.
Yeah, no. Garrett just slowly sits up, kind of rubbing his face. He does not feel good. Sleeping like that.
Bro, you died.
Especially when he normally sleeps, very straight, very like kind of, unmoving, to be kind of just jostled like a fucking sack of potatoes. He's just he just does not feel good. But he slowly gets up, kind of cricking his neck and anything else that feels stiff, because he feels stiff. Because he's like, all he remembers is the big thing of light. And actually, he doesn't remember what happened after that. Even though he was still fighting, he kind of...
It's all a blur, really.
It's all a blur.
What's dream and what's not, it's difficult to say.
I guess, he just kind of leans down and sees the two other men in his room still breathing. He's like, okay, they're fine. And just kind of just goes out of his room and downstairs looking like a corpse, basically.
Downstairs, Gareth would find not Brewkilled.
Yeah.
Azarine,
I heard her, though.
Azarine and Valerie is sitting at the diner of the inn, the diner seating. Behind the table is Quill, wearing a pink apron and frying up eggs in a skillet for them. He's been
Good
up since the
morning.
crack of dawn. Ah, tally ho, my dear boy.
Oh, God.
Sunny side up, fried, perhaps scrambled.
Fried would be just fine.
Very well then.
I don't really remember much after that whatever attack that man did, but seeing you all here and my own well-being, I assume we were victorious.
To an extent, we managed to fend them off for a little while, but they may return.
Right. And the girl she was in the blast with me as well. Was she well as well?
Yes, she survived. Many injuries, but we've managed to keep her stable.
Excellent. Oh, he just
And she pushes
sore.
and she pushes a glass of water over to Gareth.
Within a short time, the remainder of breakfast is finished for the three of you, by Quill serving as the impromptu cook. And down the stairs kind of walks, it's Ray, and he just wears like a vest, and his collar is popped like as high as it possibly can go, and he gives off this air of, don't look at me. as he kind of just wanders to the back of the room where it's darkest. He's wearing medieval sunglasses. He wears shutter shades.
I walk over, place a tall glass of water at his table, and walk back over to my table.
He drinks it in the traditional Githyanki way, like a cat or a dog with his tongue.
I hate you.
Scooping it.
He's a lovely man.
God.
I can Ray.
Oh no.
I want to be like that when I grow up.
You don't.
Hangover? You can already
Hungover? You can do that right now, starting tomorrow. From down the stairs, you hear like plodding, just like one footfall at a time, kind of like uneven and a little bit kind of strung out, and stopping every now and then resuming once more. And you kind of just see a very bedhead, completely destroyed, decimated Miyamoto. A lot of his armor and clothing, which is formerly, worn, but now it's been like really messed up by being in that blast alongside Gareth and Umber. A little bit singed on the front.
Oh man, actually, yeah, no. How's my armor looking, bro?
I think I remember, and if I didn't remember, I think I wrote it down. But the black, like the darker, like steel is okay. But some of the leather straps have been destroyed, and a lot of the Inquisition blue flags that adorned it, like the more lighter decorative stuff, cindered. And you'd have to either get a new set, or you'd have to learn how to weave.
The sashes, right? Like the insignia stuff.
Just the part that's like that would hang around like your neck, still
like
is
a tabard,
still around.
I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah, the tabard, the surcoat, whatever you'd like to refer to as. The stuff that was like more around the waist, around your belly, is kind of like just like completely burned away. You just have like this Artorias like frock neck thing that's remaining, and that's basically it. The rest is all just burned away.
Well, Gareth is going to kind of just pull that kind of off and just like kind of just bundle up the like any cloth that he still has and just kind of just tuck it away in his bag. He's gonna find something to do with it later.
All right.
Both of you seem a little worse for the wear.
Glass of water for Miyamoto.
He comes down the stairs. He's like singing some fucking drinking song he's heard from somewhere. He's definitely home.
Yep, I walk over and I hand him a glass.
Oh,
of
I
water.
sometimes wonder if lightning and thunder was made from the plunder of whiskey. Oh, hello, thank you.
And he immediately downs it.
I'll grab another
Three
one.
big, and it's gone. And he just,
I'll grab another one.
Hello, honorable warriors.
Glad to see that you lived through that blast as well.
Indeed. We are made of sterner stuff.
Garrett just nods. His throat, among other things, is kind of sore. Pretty
smoke
worn out,
inhalation.
Maybe.
Quill makes breakfast for the remainder of the party. I believe the remaining is 6. There's 7 of you total, I think. Bessie's outside just chowing down on greens.
Really, I'm gonna strangle you.
Ooh, that's kinky.
Can I get a pog in chat for sore throat
Pog.
Gareth?
It presumably smells good, and also Miyamoto is really loud, so I guess Pukil eventually wakes up sometime after the sun has begun to set. She heads over. She has not bothered to do her hair or anything. It's like it's tied, so it's not in her face, but it's really like
In like a
Don't-
knot, like you tie your
Yeah.
shoes with.
yeah. don't look at me. I look like shit.
I hand Brookehild a glass of water, and then I go behind and I start brushing her hair. And
She
and
hisses
doing
at you. She just don't touch her head hurts. She's just like, no.
It's delicate.
Brooke crawls over into the dark corner that Ray has occupied, and both of them are just like slumped in like coats and blankets. Just don't look at me.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure she just like took down her blanket. She's just like wrapped up in her blanket and like steals off some bits of egg or something from whatever's left. Scavenges a breakfast.
Slurps it. She's about diner height. She just slurps it right off that plate and then disappears again. Well, an elderly gnome and a young tiefling woman walks into the front door, as well as the owner of this establishment, whom we've seen yesterday.
They're not hungover, right?
No, they're no.
Okay, I'm good.
No,
I'm
we
done.
were the only ones who celebrated.
They come in from off like the street.
I mean, Gareth wasn't hungover either. It was
He just died.
I mean, you were
he
like
died
dying.
and
You were
Real
still
out of body
dying.
experience everybody had last
might
night.
have
of
had
one
a
way
bit
or
of
another.
smoke inhalation, you know.
Yeah, so everyone gets a glass of water that has had a rough night. So
I mean, presumably Umber.
Umber also, she looks very hurt. She's got band-aids like
How
across
is
her
she even
face and
walking?
cheeks.
Holy shit.
Her arm is in a sling, and you actually can see that part of her horns that would like kind of like, you know, she's got the more traditional tiefling horns, that kind of like Hellboy horns almost, and they are actually cooked on the front.
Does she have horns like Hellboy now?
One of them
Interesting. No, I think that is sure, the tiefling horns are a little bit tougher than the fires that can be dished out by that individual. They are, after all, tieflings. Technically, she takes reduced heat damage, but unfortunately, she doesn't have as much health as one might hope.
well, all right.
But they greet you and approach you, and they just, yeah. Umber goes, waves back to Gareth, and just goes, good morning to the 7 of you. Wild night last night, huh? Oof.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody made it. And she
Bit
kind of
more of a
throws a
warning
stink eye at
about
Gareth, and
what-
she's like, you know, that's kind of unfortunate.
Well, I just wanted to thank you again for helping me out back there. You really didn't have to, but I appreciate you sticking around. I didn't mean to rope you into all this.
Well, we kind of roped ourselves into it, to be honest. So
Yeah, you did, but I mean, I wasn't gonna say that. Hey, I mean, listen, deal still stands if you just want to drop off some weapons and be on your merry way.
Oh, and get murdered?
Well, I mean, I don't want all of them. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is moot. But what are you planning on doing now? We talked about maybe getting a deal going. We have some money, and if you somehow can
our
solve
reward
this.
was still on the counter.
Yes, I agree, especially now seeing what you are up against. I can't, in good conscience, leave this very much alone.
The elder gnome, Moya. She's by the way, just so you know, gnomes are actually relatively tall by what they're taller than they're taller than halflings, but smaller than
Taller than tieflings.
taller than tieflings. Well,
That's
tieflings are just regular
terrifying.
humans.
Are they taller than Brookhill?
Yes, gnomes are taller than dwarves traditionally.
What?
Get fucked!
Ooh.
They're of similar height or a little bit taller.
Right.
This one is gnomes in general usually taller than dwarves. Moya, being an elderly old woman, is shorter than Brooke.
Damn it!
Sorry, just wanted to be explicitly clear.
Turn back into a baby when you're old.
It's true. She's 70. She's about like 3'11", maybe 4'2", somewhere between there.
It is her 5th birthday today.
Her 5th birthday. She's Benjamin Buttoning right before your very eyes. Anyway, she speaks up and goes, "Well, if you're planning on sticking around, I suppose it's appreciated, but we have only managed to scrounge enough coin to pay the for you four. We only have the 1,000 to split. For your extra friends, it should all work out evenly as well."
I think her
Brooke
first.
grumbles and buries herself into her blood. Like, she doesn't want to deal with this. She's like, yeah, money's cool, but like, we died.
I think first things first is that we need to come up with a plan of
Yeah,
plan of
I was just about to
attack?
ask that, really. How the hell are we gonna kill that guy?
Do we know?
Well-
Yeah, whatever that
his
demon
location?
was.
First of all, before we can
whatever it
even
was.
get to killing the Marauder, we need to know where he resides.
Is nobody going to talk about the giant monster that fired a laser beam into the inn?
Right, yeah, there's that too.
Semantics. As
Well,
I was saying, first things first is we need his location. We need to know how to find him. Would you, Moira, have any information regarding to that?
Let me see. No, I'm afraid I don't. I very rarely leave the village, very rarely leave my office, much less the village.
Umber, do you know?
I don't know where they've come from, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't really had the opportunity to check yet. Maybe we can find something.
Do you
I've
think it's
hunted,
been
maybe
long
we can
enough
find some
for
tracks.
any horse trails to
Wait.
disappear?
Wait. You're all really planning on doing this?
Well, I wouldn't go barging in, guns blazing, and attacking willy-nilly. I would probably go stealth mission on this one.
Miyamoto
That
looks
is my
disappointed.
part about it.
Can we not just, go on with our merry way? Leave, take care of
I
our own
don't think
business?
that
I'll
was
be
a
honest with you.
reasonable.
I'll be honest, Dwarf. That was my plan before I actually saw who were hounding this village. But
All
now,
the more reason to get out.
unfortunately, now that we have made a scene, they're probably gonna come back even in more force than before.
Ugh.
That
Shakes her
and now
head
that
because she knows he's right, and that's the worst feeling she's ever experienced. But
Get used to it, bitch.
Oof.
The life of tragic heroes. Let's get planning.
that and because of the fact that the other outpost is now gone. This town is the closest outpost for travelers, so I don't think it would be very safe for us to just leave it.
none of you have any sense of your own business.
No, we don't. That's why we're all here together.
She grumbles and heads on over to help with the planning or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. Just fine.
If you don't mind, actually, I would like to not continue to wear this armor for at least while we're planning. And Gareth excuses himself, and he's gonna go up to get into something that's not as charred.
Melty.
Gareth
Alright,
is
that's
actually
fine.
just a grilled cheese.
He's a grilled cheese. But yeah, you head up and change while Umber and Moya kind of gather around one of the larger tables, and the innkeep himself kind of comes back in and actually gets ready for the morning afternoon. He's not expecting anybody to be here besides you, but he does kind of serve people later in the day, so he's going to get that ready. But I guess it's kind of just up to you guys to decide what you want to do. Umber is here and kind of lays out a map of the local area. It's the same that we've seen before many a time.
I think the first thing I want to do is step outside and see if it's been long enough for any horse trails left by that guy to have disappeared. Or not.
Okay. Umber will follow suit with you, and she is a hunter and a tracker by trade, so you're going to
Would
have...
that be perception or investigation?
I'll let you pick. Actually, normally that'd be survival, but I'll let you go with whichever one you're best with, because you have a professional tracker with you right now, and we can represent that by you picking one of your better stats.
Gotcha. Ooh.
23.
Wow, the caboose does.
The caboose does. You look around, and outside, the ground is completely plodded down earth from last night's battle with the god knows how many dozens of horse riders, and you try to kind of just follow back the path that you remember from last night, heading west, and you are able to find a trail that both leads towards the village and away from the village. Presumably the ones that they followed, the way that they left last night, because they're not here right now, so they must have left.
So Valerie gets just a bad feeling that I don't want to walk back into the inn and have these tracks fucking disappear. So she takes down a piece of paper and jots down what direction she's looking.
Okay, you're there. You're looking west, but if you haven't really followed the trail more than like 50 feet outside the village. You know what I mean? You're just like the village is still like just right behind you.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of out on the outskirts. You also see 2 tremendous footprints as well.
Okay.
In the ground.
Can I examine those and see what was from that?
Okay.
What caused it?
This is an investigation check, and Umber does not have any experience with this sort of thing.
That's a flat roll right there.
Well, you're kind of just, you have to rely on your layman's perspective. You have no secret insider information. It's just, whatever this thing is, it is standing where that creature was that was firing laser beams at you last night, so this is that thing's footprints. It is bipedal. It has 2 large 3-toes feet. And it seems like it's wearing like horseshoes or something, just by virtue of the way that it was stepping, like where the pressure is indented into the sand. It seems like it was kind of wearing some kind of horseshoe-like equivalent.
So I'm going to return to the inn and immediately tell people that there's horse tracks leading out of the village. So everyone, there is horse tracks from the person we drove off leading way out of the village. So we have a lead.
Well, that's a start.
What direction?
West.
I'm gonna double check with the map and see if I can, like, if there's stuff over there. Because, like, sometimes there's, like, an abandoned town or whatever. Like...
Why don't you roll a history check and a survival check, both? And one is to read the map, and one is to use your own personal information that you might know from studying.
Investigation?
Survival check.
Survival.
Not bad.
I rolled a better survival than history somehow.
That's shocking, really. Yeah, with a 20 survival, you look off to the left, and it's mostly just the towards the southwest is where Allfield used to be, but that's more south than west, if that makes any sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
Directly west of here is a long string of prairie and open field, and then stone, rocks, and more. I hesitate to say crags, because it's nothing so into the Badlands-like, and then ocean. The rock continues until it hits like the ocean, the cliffside that goes down to the ocean. That might be like hours away though, maybe even days depending on how you travel. But you are getting closer to the Kingdom of Alexandria, which is more seafaring. You guys are kind of here on the map. You see where I am clicking. But yeah, it's just mostly rocky, mountainous area, craggy stuff to the left, the west.
Guess that would be an okay spot to hide and stash some supplies, because they wouldn't just leave that shit in the open, right?
What would you do, crime boss supreme?
I mean, I would, I would hide my stuff. You would, like, if you steal like resources and shit, you want to hide them and protect them. You wouldn't steal them just for the sake of it, right? Because at that point, you just burn them. That's my thoughts as local crime boss.
What say you all, party? You're all kind of just like Ocean's 11, like around the table, like over a map, like drawing on it with notes. Umber is like comparing different. She has like charts and books that she looks through and has like different tracks from like different animals and stuff like that. But she doesn't match anything with what you found out to the west.
Except the horses, presumably.
Oh yeah, except for...
Valerie gets completely distracted and draws a cat on the bottom of the map.
Okay.
I suggest we go and meet them in open combat on the prairie.
I don't.
They killed you last night.
What?
Miyamoto looks around himself.
I appear to still be alive.
Barely.
If we challenge their leader to single combat, he'll have no choice but to abide by honor.
Well, no, not necessarily. Many bandits actually don't abide by, honor, unfortunately.
Yes, my dear boy, you've done quite well for yourself so far, but I think we might want to take a more, softer approach to this particular situation.
I feel
Valerie puts a hand up to Miyamoto's armor and takes a little chip of it off that was hanging off. Yeah, you are in no no time to fight for you.
Trophy scars.
No, something would blow through this and kill you.
Roll persuasion.
Where is that?
Miyamoto grumbles, but he says no more. Crosses his arms and seems to go along with the rest.
I think we should take a more stealthy approach. Maybe infiltrate their base camp, and then while no one's awake or while they're still like in a false sense of security, we attack them there.
I
And attack him with the sword.
agree, but if
we
we all
might want to
do
have a
that
look
together,
first.
I agree
Oh,
with that
yeah.
We
plan
decide
of
anything.
approach, but if we all go together, then Valerie's eyes like trail off to Miyamoto and Gareth and their big ass arms.
Well, Gareth is upstairs right now. He's not actually at the table present.
Mentally trails off to Gareth's armor and looks at Miyamoto.
Which is why I suggest that we have the least conspicuous. Or another option is to request a parlay.
You think the villagers here haven't tried that?
Have they? And she looks at Umber and the village leader.
Farmer Alden, he's one of the older fellows here, one of the respected in the parties. He walked out to try and have a meeting with them, and we haven't seen him since.
How long ago was that?
A couple of weeks.
Mm.
Aye, well, before deciding anything, we should go have a look and see what we have to work with. So,
I agree.
wants to head over and have a look?
I suppose me and Nazarene are the sneakiest.
I
Yes.
could possibly come as well if you'd like the extra company. Quill
That
says.
would be.
How good
That
are
would
you
be
at
most
keeping your
helpful.
head down?
Oh, I've been, I've snuck around here or there. I've developed quite the skill, if I do say so myself.
Perfect, you hide.
Brughild is really good at hiding, but only in crowds. She's
Ah.
so good at hiding.
Brooke goes like, "Oh yeah, I can hide
She's
pretty
good at
easily." She
playing-
turns
she's-
into a fucking
she's-
half orc in the middle of a field.
She's good at playing Assassin's Creed, not Metal Gear Solid.
Understandable.
Nope.
Hey Gareth, what are you doing up in your
I
room?
could. Oh shit! I forgot I have like permanent disguise self though.
Oh, yeah, no. So Gareth is
I'm gonna be right back.
slowly kind of taking off the stuff, and as he's like taking off each piece of his armor, he's kind of inspecting it a bit to check for any like damages and like if I'm gonna like he's probably gonna have to clean it, to get any sort of blast
Mhm.
marks off, right? But like if there's any actual like integrity damages or something, like this needs to make a note of hey, I need to deal with this. Right.
Mhm.
So should I roll for investigation or anything to see?
Yeah, roll an investigation check, but you can have advantage because you are if you're not already proficient.
I'm not proficient in investigation.
Okay, then have
unfortunately.
advantage because it's something
Thank
particular
you.
to your own skills.
Thank you. Thank you, boss.
You're welcome.
I got a 21.
Yeah, with a
Correct.
21, you look through everything. You pick off some of the old leather thong work, the buckles that have been destroyed, and you luckily have some kind of remaining leftover.
That I could replace it with. So
Yeah, you quickly nail in essentially what you need to refill for the strap and for the buckle, and you make repairs enough so that functionally the armor is fine. It just doesn't look very good right now. It's not like battle. It's not like a battle dress ready for a parade or something. This is like
Right.
I've been campaigning. You have like 3 months worth of campaign that you accrued over the course of one night. That's essentially what has happened. So.
And so like he kind of makes a note while in Cape Solomon, I should probably get this touched up a bit. He just kind of says that to himself, and he kind of goes into his bag and fishes out the remaining of the Talbrid, like the Inquisition colors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beyond fucked. Like
If you could
You know,
find someone who is quote unquote a master work weaver, they could repair it, but I don't think you know
how
anybody
much?
like that.
What?
Right?
Tell me the length or the width of what remains.
Oh goodness, you have just barely
Like the
enough
biggest
to
chunk.
cover your Are you the best way I could represent it is if you are familiar with a chainmail coif, that is that is worn over hauberks in medieval times. It is of roughly equal remainder. Just the section that basically sits around your neck, maybe a little bit further, but it just barely covers your collar. You're a little bit lower than your collarbones, halfway between your nipple and your collarbone is as far down as it goes.
Alright, then.
And a little bit further on your back, it actually goes down a bit further because
Oh,
you are
okay.
face first. But it'll only by like a few extra inches. It maybe like a half a foot.
Oh
to-
fuck! Did I miss like descriptions of how toasty Gareth is?
Yeah, you
Oh,
missed
you
some
did.
toasty descriptions, but it's
Yeah.
okay. He can replay. But yeah, you have a
but-
coif
Much of
left
that.
with a little bit of extra.
And so, like, he kind of sees that he has length, and like, he kind of wants to have it repaired, but like, he can't wear it in the state that it is. So he actually,
If you wanted to look cool, you could still wear it, but it would be a
No.
disgrace to
it would be a
Gushiet Tapel.
disgrace. Exactly.
Gareth
So
Fume
he-
Night cosplay. Let's go.
No, so he actually kind of takes what he has, kind of binds it up, kind of like rolls it up, so it's like almost like I don't. It's not like I'm not making it into rope, like because that's impossible. But you know what I mean, like it's,
Yeah, you tie it up in
I'm
a
kind of
couple of knots.
rolling
to
it up,
make
and
small.
like I'm kind of like tying it like kind of short
Sure.
on to the hilt of the greatsword.
Sounds good to me. You have just enough length left to like, I don't know, just like tie it around your waist like a sash, wrap around your forearm, tie it to the greatsword. You have some fabric left, it's just not nearly
Yeah.
enough to cover your body, your torso.
Right. He
So.
uses it for like the hilt, and kind of like grip.
Sounds good to me.
Just until he can get it repaired, and then he just kind of throws on his casuals, like he puts
Alright.
on his captain's jacket,
I assume the rest of the party,
his nice high-waisted pants.
high-waisted pants, buckled
Yep.
up to the belly button, I like it.
Yep. And he, re-grabs, both his great sword and the commander's long sword.
He's really lucky the swords are fine.
And he heads back down to see what plans have already been talked about.
If it was just him in that blast, or just him and one other person, I would have rolled to damage the great.
Which would not have mattered because he would be fucking
'Cause he would
dead.
also-
He would
be dead. It would matter in the sense of the loot that you could recover from the dead body of Gareth Duran. But yeah, you head back downstairs. I presume the rest of the party catches Gareth up on what the plan is so
Yeah.
far, so we don't have to
Yep.
spend any time in.
Alright.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so Azreen and Valerie, you're considering going with Quill to just recon, scout.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Mhm.
What is the rest of the party considering doing while they do that?
Not sure if I should go on recon or because it's sometimes it's useful to have, the magic stuff.
Umber will pipe up and say, like, if you all leave, though, I don't want this village left unprotected. I can't
Now,
help everyone.
Miyamoto and I will stay. Umber, are there anyone else with your sort of attitude towards all this? Anyone who could fight at all as well?
Oof. There's a lot of people with my attitude. I don't know if there's a lot of people with my spry springiness. I guess we can ask around.
Hmm.
I'm
can do
not
that
very
around.
charismatic myself, but
We'll figure something out. So that is Umber, Miyamoto, and Gareth's plan.
if you guys want to go around and have somebody's like rolling persuasion or charisma checks to try and like convince some of the town people to try and join up with this cause, then that's definitely a distinct possibility.
Yeah, it would be
Shame
such a
that
shame.
most- that your two bards with the highest
charismatic,
charisma
yeah.
are gone.
Well,
Yeah,
unfortunately, they're also
well.
the ones with the highest stealth modifier, so.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, I'm sitting right
to
here.
be fair, actually, to be fair, isn't hold up. What is your stealth modifiers, Coconut and Renthi?
My which modifier?
Stealth.
Stealth. I've got a 4 plus 4.
Valerie?
Are you Valerie? Are you with us?
Valerie?
Crickets.
Oh, I'm on push to talk too.
Yeah. What do you got? Silence from the fields.
I said 2.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
+2. Okay.
Well, then in that case, I could go with Azarine because I also have 2, and I'm not wearing my armor.
I also have 2. We all have stealth 2.
However,
Why do I have
We
the
also
highest
have bardic
Because you probably
inspiration.
the
Yeah,
bards
to
can
buff each other.
buff each other with bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
That's
And
that's the
they've
other
got
trick.
like magic and shit, and they're not 7 fucking feet tall.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if we want to have a better chance of recruiting other people, I think Valerie should be here.
I'm sitting right here.
Oh,
I'm a
worry not, my
warlock.
friend Gareth. When they see our rippling bodies and muscle, they'll have no choice but to believe in our cause. 2 strong warriors recruiting the people.
She
Alright.
kind of glares at Miyamoto over her glasses, just like,
All right.
are you
Alright.
sure? You look
What
like
friendly
shit.
dwarf? Well,
You look like shit. Come on, I'll do it.
Miyamoto shrugs.
She dusts herself off and she starts fiddling with her hair. Like, apparently got it proper now. Sucks.
even better, more the merrier. What say you, friend Githyank? Don't talk to me. Never mind.
I assume Ray's gonna be staying with Bessie.
Yep. Anyways, I guess the parties have been decided.
All right.
You two head back as soon as you get the whiff of trouble. Don't
You
do
got it.
anything. All right.
Leave it to us.
All right. So first things first, I'm gonna have
Is Umber going with them?
Umber.
I guess
Umber-
not, because she's fucked up.
No,
Umber's fucked up,
Umber's with us because
Will is with
She's
us.
gonna help recruit.
Oh right, Quill is there. Because I thought it was 3 people. But
Oh yeah, you're right.
Quill.
Quill politely wasn't gonna say anything about being forgotten by Gareth, but now that you brought it up, you can tell that he's tearing up a little bit. But no, it's fine. Yeah, Umber's with
Hey,
you. She
I mean,
can't
I
really
don't have to
leave.
wish. I don't have to wish a person of his skill luck. All right.
Oh damn!
No.
You turned it around. He looks at you. He's like, oh, you. Okay. Well, let's see here. I'm gonna roll dice. Who wants to be on? Which team is odds and which is evens?
I guess we would be evens because we have
You have an even amount of people.
an even amount of people.
All right. So here we go. I'm just gonna
they
roll a
have an
d6. All right, that's a 3. So we're gonna start with the odds. All right,
Alrighty.
Azarine, Valerie, and Quill. That is the 2-party system that we've developed here. You guys head out west, and Valerie is going to continue using her survival and investigation to try and follow after the tracks. Quill has a significantly higher stealth score than the rest of
Do
you
I
guys.
roll a survival right now?
Yeah, you're gonna roll survival. You follow the tracks out west as far as you can, but then like the sands and shifting dirt is starting to be a little bit difficult to kind of discern. But with a 17, you kind of bend down, you take a look, and you've spent a lot of time kind of just staring at like some of the tracks just to really get them imprinted into your head, imprinted into your mind, so you can recognize them. And once you feel comfortable enough to be able to recognize the particular size of hoof print and the depth of the horse print, you're like, okay, let's keep going. And so you head out west and just keep going as far as you possibly can. You find that as you go deeper into the prairie, that was once green fields, but is now a lot of sand, a lot of dry, cragged grass, a lot of brown, tall, weaving stalks that may or may not survive. You're not quite sure. It's sturdy grass, but who knows what's going to happen. This is not the normal climate. But you're being followed shortly behind by Azarine and Quill. And Quill speaks up and goes, "So, how long have the two of you been traveling as a party with the rest of those?"
About 3-4 months.
Ah, well, that's quite interesting. You've had quite the time to get to know each other, I suppose, but such times
Quite.
can vanish in a...
We're what I'd like to call unlikely friends.
Well, perhaps sometimes that's the best sort of friend.
No offense, Azarine.
None taken. I mean, I'm used to kind of bouncing around anyway. Never really hanging around for too long. But it's been enjoyable. It's been a good experience. A lot of different personalities coming together for a common cause.
Honestly, I'd actually prefer to hang around this one right here. It seems like we have the most normal of times when we're together, so I prefer to keep it that way if I can.
And a lot less yelling.
Well, very well then. I suppose it's just something that can't be helped. I suppose let's continue.
What do you do anyway, Quill?
Oh, me, I travel to and fro where the wind takes me. I take odd jobs here and there, hither and thither. I suppose you might call me a bounty hunter of sorts.
I would call you what I call myself, a drifter.
I like that particular verbiage much better. Roll insight. That's what the caboose do. You continue further west until you realize that it's starting to turn a little bit more towards the north, this trail. These shifting sands are starting to bury some of the tracks, so it's getting a little bit more difficult to follow, but you are able to kind of like take this trust, this kind of leap of like, I haven't seen a track in a while, but I'm just going to walk this way for 5 minutes and hopefully I'll find another one. Oh, yeah, okay, I found another track. And you eventually get out. We're going to cover the course of like, this is several like hours. Hours go by of you going on this journey. If you can do me a favor of rolling a 1d6. One of you two in this party.
Do you want me to? Or no? Okay.
Okay, interesting. You come across just a few animal bones along the way. Large birds like vultures.
Examine it. Is that survival or medicine or
Nature, actually.
Oh, nifty. I think I have a modifier now.
Okay.
I completely lied.
Well, that's not terrible. They're large. They have long, drawn-out beaks.
They look dead.
They look dead. You're pretty sure they're dead. And they kind of remind you of vultures or crows, except a lot bigger. They're about like the size of your torso. And they're just there's about 10 of these things just dead in the middle of the field. Bleached bone.
I don't like that.
A very big bird. Specifically the ones that eat corpses.
I don't like that at all.
Either, but I gotta dole out info, or maybe it'll kill us if I don't.
Any signs of struggle? Some kind of fight? Are they wounded to death, or did they starve?
Can I take a peek?
Sure, Azreen. You can roll a nature or medicine check if you're looking for this very specific thing.
I'm gonna do medicine to find out the cause of death because I'm better at that.
All right.
Nope.
9.
9.
It was eaten.
You don't know what killed these birds. It may be probably just starvation. You don't see like broken bones or anything like that, which is pretty much all that's left of them besides some feathers here or there.
I think there's no sign of broken bones anywhere, so I'm assuming starvation or natural causes.
Well, I suppose let us continue then. Lest we be cut out in the hot sun like these poor fellows.
Yeah. And she keeps going.
Okay. Valerie, if you're going to continue to lead the search party, roll another survival check. You get about your few hours out into the wood. There are some trees that have kind of survived this climate change, and a little bit of a thicker forest is beginning to form around you. Nothing so dense as to call like, it's not like a swamp or anything like that. It's just some trees, shade. So if you could just give me a survival check to continue to follow after the tracks.
Gotcha.
17, that's pretty good. It is, the sun is starting to set at this point. It's getting to be about twilight. It's getting kind of darker in the day, and you continue along the way. At this point, you're kind of like just looking at broken branches and like boughs of trees, leaves that have been disturbed, and that's kind of your only sign that something has been through here. But that many people on horseback is difficult to hide, even if you are an artful evader. You continue into the open expanse of the forest until it gives way to a rock. Gray slate. Some that jut out this way or that. This stonework in this area just seems to be almost like a tremendous hammer struck the ground around here. All the rock around here is just like upheaved and moved around this way and that. It is a lot cooler in this area, and there's not as much dirt to read tracks by, but there's nowhere else that you can tell they could have gone. So, into the unknown, we're going into the crags.
I guess we're going into the crags. But before we do, Valerie turns to Azarine. and
Yes.
puts a hand on her shoulder.
Mhm.
Well, we've been an exceptional duo thus far, and I'd rather it be no one else but you.
Aww. Thanks. Azreen beams, and she's like, "And you, this adventure has been quite something, and I wouldn't have it any other way."
Oh, you two are such fine comrades, such fine gal pals.
Well,
Just gals being pals.
she like kicks off her heel and like spins and starts walking in the unknown. Well, if I'm going to die a horrible death, I might as well have my teammate know that I care.
Likewise. Hopefully we don't die though. I would prefer not.
And then that's happening over.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's at this point that you tell me when you're like it's time to start being stealthy.
Once we see signs of like
Danger.
life, I guess.
Well, are you gonna wait till the danger, but to start acting sneaky, or are you gonna? I
Well,
feel like
we're
that's
gonna
something
wait-
you might want to preempt.
Once we get like, once we start getting close, like seeing signs of like recent activity.
All right. You continue further into the crags, into the rocky outcroppings. The area starts to get a lot more varied in altitude. To your left, you follow through this thin, very thin valley between two larger crags, rolling sand. It's kind of like I'm trying to picture something. Y'all seen Lord of the Rings? It's kind of like being in Mordor, but without the lava. Like just that dry, coarse, kind of gray sand, and then just rock. Here you can definitely tell the tracks grow stronger as the forces have condensed together and are forced to also travel through this thin, narrow passageway between the rock. You can count dozens upon dozens of horse hoof marks and tracks. Why don't you try and roll an insight for me to try and deduce their number? Raiders always travel in single file to hide their numbers.
Whoa!
There's at least like 35 of them.
Oh boy.
Ooh. I
Nice.
think it's time to hide.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Okay. You have a 9 stealth.
That's not enough to warrant my bardic inspiration.
9's not bad enough.
Yeah, I don't think 9's bad enough.
Well, you're right. You got to be careful
I
with
mean,
those
I
bardic inspirations. You only get the one a day.
Well, technically, no.
I'm aware that you do not actually have
4.
one per day. I'm teasing you because of this refusal to use them, even though you have 4 a day.
I'm going to use mine. It's a D6.
Valerie, use your bardic inspiration.
Okay, fine.
17.
13.
13 is not bad.
Rinty, I will miss you when you die.
Valerie wants to...
I refuse to allow you to out dumbass me.
Valerie just wants to be a samurai who is going to travel the land getting in sword fights. This whole... Listen. Yeah, with those numbers, you press deeper into the darkness. It's much darker here just by virtue of the sun seemingly has set earlier, while the crags just are casting these large shadows everywhere. And you follow the tracks until they hit a dead end. Just a wall of rock all around you. You've slowly sloped down into like basically the bottom of a 30-foot tall ravine.
Oh boy.
And the tracks just come to an end.
Is there... Like, there's, like, rock walls on either side of us, right?
Mhm.
Do I see any, like, secret entrances or, like, caves or, like, any openings on the sides?
You don't see any openings readily available, but you can roll an investigation check.
I would like to. 12.
You don't see anything that particularly sparks your interest or curiosity?
So they're right in front of like a ravine of some sort.
You're in a ravine. You're at the bottom of a ravine.
Oh.
You've been kind of walking through like a gully, and then that gully became a valley, and on the left and right the hills like got a lot taller as you continued walking westward more and more, and like, oh, those are getting tall, and then until it gets to the point where it's like, I'm just in a ravine now. Like I've been following this gully so long that's become a valley, and now it's become a ravine.
Valerie's walking and writing, big ass ravine.
Well, shall we continue?
Don't see a reason to head back.
Well, to continue, we've hit a dead end. Quill kind of like puts his crossbow away and starts to kind of like feel along the wall.
Can I like see any like, I don't know, maybe something towering high enough above the ravine? Just check if there's like something around it.
Well, you can either try to climb out of the ravine with an acrobatics check, or you can roll an investigation for just kind of trying to get the lay of the land.
I'm gonna be cool.
Hell yeah. Valerie starts to just kind of holster her weapons and gets one firm handhold on the wall side of the ravine. It's only about 30 feet you have to climb. It's not... Ravine might be an overkill word, but I don't really know if there's a word for a smaller ditch that is in the earth.
I call a 30-foot like just gap in between the earth and ravine.
Yeah, there you go. And you just start scaling up 1 foot at a time, making sure it was maintaining 3 points of contact at all times. And after like just a few seconds, you climb up to the top and give yourself a good firm hoist up. And that is when you kind of look around and see you're up higher at this point. It's all gray around you. The clouds above are very dark, cloudy. You have this faint scent of sea salt on the air. You might be nearing the ocean if you were to continue westward long enough. But you actually see some smoke, some black smoke. About 50 feet away, 50 feet to the west.
Valerie peeks her head over the ravine. I smell smoke, and I see smoke.
Shall we go further? Or should we wait for the others?
Well, we've come this far to try and reconnaissance for the others, so I suppose we would be remiss to stop now.
I don't know if smoke is enough information to give them.
Here,
All
my
right.
dear fellow. Take these.
And Quill pulls a satchel from behind him and throws it up to you, Valerie. I'm not going to make you roll. I assume you catch it.
Valerie catches it.
Okay. It's a small leather satchel. And inside you unzip it, and it is a spyglass inside.
Oh, useful. She turns around and looks through it.
Okay.
Sees what she can see.
The smoke, you get a better looking at it. Whatever the source is, it disappears just over the next hill. So if you were to just kind of crawl up there, maybe you'd be able to peek over the precipice of the hill and see where it might be coming from. But that's up to you. Azri, did you want to go up there and join Valerie, or you want to continue looking down here?
Yeah, I'll.
Can I make an assisted acrobatics? Like if she messes up, she can grab my hand or something.
Sure, makes sense to me.
All right. And then I get the advantage on that, so 13.
13's enough. You're not under dire. You have infinite time. In theory, you can take your time one handhold until you get up to the top, where Valerie's hand is waiting and pulls you up the rest of the way. The two of you up there, and Quill just goes, "Okay, well, I'll continue to look down here and see what I can see. You two scout on ahead."
Gotcha. We'll scream if we die.
That's not reassuring.
We have to get over this hill and see what we can see.
Right. After you've been leading us pretty well so far.
I guess I have been.
Unless you want me to start taking the lead.
No, that's fine.
The two of you ascend the hill. You crouch down low and near crawl at one point or another to maintain your stealth-like attitude. Once you get to the top and you have just enough eye line to see over the hill and down the way, you spy what appears to be a large camp recessed into the earth. It sits in what appears to be like a bowl carved out of the stone. It's about 80 feet
That's a
wide.
base of operation.
You see a large stone effigy carved into something. You don't know what it is exactly. It's humanoid, animalistic, some kind of strange effigy carved out of stone. And you see several people moving to and fro out of camps, out of tents. A large bonfire is in the center over which you can kind of smell like meat being cooked or something. There's large barrels with supplies. And now I'm going to have Azarine kind of roll a perception check. And then Valerie, you can see the next stuff through your eyeglass for free. But Azarine rolls perception 16. Azarine's got good eyes.
What do your fish eyes see?
Fish goggles.
That strange statue is like maybe 30 feet tall, and it has very odd. It has like multiple appendages, like tentacles coming out where its shoulders should be. And instead of eyes, there's in fact just one unblinking eye that looks very. It looks like it has an eclipse carved into it, like a moon.
Does this happen to look similar to the thing that shot a laser at the end?
No, it does not look like that. The silhouette doesn't match. This thing looks much more organic, eldritchy. The thing that shot a laser at you is much more boxy. But
Does it look like with the tentacles, does it look like any sort of sea creature I've ever seen?
Roll a
heard
nature
of?
or history check. You pick. I will flavor the answer depending on what you choose.
I'll do history. 18.
This looks more like a religious iconic thing than anything else. It doesn't look very sea creature-like, but it does, well, it doesn't look like something that you've seen with your own two eyes. But from history, it does kind of seem like some, how do I phrase this in a way that Azarine would understand? Azarine's been around a lot of places. You've seen things that other people might not have seen before. You've seen places where cities that have been existing centuries ago have been subsumed by the sea, have been sunk. And amongst them are places that you're told not to go as a young mermaid. Like, please stay away from these areas because they're dangerous. But of course, you're a little bastard, so you go and peek anyway. And you would see, you've seen statues like this before, effigies to gods that don't exist anymore. And this reminds you of that. Something that's the work of land dwellers, but ancient in design.
It looks like a statue of a deity or
Cthulhu?
god that isn't that's not practiced anymore. I
I
mean,
was going to say it seemed a little bit like an eldritch being of some sort.
yeah, like that.
Valerie, you're going to roll a super perception with advantage because you have a looking glass.
Super perception. 20.
With the 20, I don't think Valerie would know what she's looking at, but in the back of the camp, out of the bowl, and out actually on the flats above it, there is a small tent with several boxes what looks to be like tools and metal and plate, stuff that you would be familiar with from a blacksmith to forge into armor. And sitting next to it, kind of crouched down like a chicken's like nesting, is this large metal contraption that just stands on two legs, and it has a mouth, like a maw almost, with teeth made out of metal and eyes that do not blink. And the center of the mouth, instead of a gullet or like a hole to swallow, is a glowing red orb that pulsates with energy. On top, you see a seat with several buttons and levers and steering apparatus, and I don't think you know what this thing is, but it's definitely
I
some
think I
kind of
know what
machine.
it is, but Valerie doesn't. What on earth is that? Wait, Here, look at this. Valeria gestures for Azarine to look through the.
I take a peek. What is that?
It looks industrial, whatever it is. It also looks like it kills people.
It doesn't look very good. I'll agree with you on that one. Um,
Valerie has a notebook with her the whole time. She's writing everything she's seeing and sketching specific important details so she can just show the rest of her party when they get back.
All right. You just see this kind of mechanical thing. It looks like a three-way cross between like a Star Wars walker, a Reaper from Final Fantasy, and a foo dog, all kind of wrapped up into one. And it is being serviced by people wearing black outfits. And you see that a few of them actually have taken off the helmets and off the armor, and they look just like normal people. And you're gonna roll an insight check as well, just kind of like at the lay of the land. You see some people who are like sharpening weapons and cleaning off axes, and shields are like arrows are being pulled out of them and sharpened as well. It looks like
Can
you're.
I be assisted?
Well, yeah, Azarine, do you want to assist?
yes.
All right. You have to re-roll though. You can't take the 22. You can only take the second number if we establish that you have advantage before you roll.
Yeah.
So you must re-roll.
Rerolls are fun.
20.
There you go.
Yeah, between the two of you, you can tell that some of the soldiers that walk through, if I want to call them that, some are still wearing their armor in its entirety, and they refuse to take it off. And you can, and when they walk past to do tasks, the other people who have their armor off, you can see like their bare skin or just normal clothes, they give them a wide berth.
I guess there's some sort of power dynamic going on here.
Oh yeah.
And that is when you see an individual step out of one of the larger tents that you recognize from the night before. The Dark Rider with the large helmet with the horns twisting out of the back of it. They have a long
there he
flowing
is.
black
Valerie
cape.
sketches the tent he comes out of.
And you can't hear from this distance, but you see them have a conversation with a few of the other people around. And then you see them disappear into one of the other smaller tents. And when they show up again after about 10 seconds of being gone, they throw someone out onto the dirt. And they point at them, and some people start to gather around. And this figure kind of tries to get themselves up, but they're clearly bound. And the leader picks them up with just one hand, just neck lifts them right up off the ground.
Hot.
There you go. There we have it. Darth Vader episode 4 style. And kind of parades them around and points at them, and it's clearly some kind of presentation. And then they carry this body that's kind of squirming up into in front of that large effigy, and this figure holds up the body towards it and holds up both hands in the air, and they have this kind of strange, almost religious-like pose. And everyone kind of gathers around in a circle.
The gang stumbles upon human sacrifice.
Whoa!
Kalima.
They
Kalima.
learn way more than
Kalima.
There's a flash of green light that emanates from the individual's hand, the captain's hands, the leader's hands. And they press their palm up against the chest of this individual, and they start to squirm, and you can faintly hear screaming from this distance. And then this figure's eyes start to glow a pallid green color.
Valerie doesn't like the color green much anymore.
Oh, fuck it. It really is Kalima.
Then the leader drops them on the ground. And a bunch of people, 3 people, come rushing out of the crowd and kind of descend on that guy and just hold him down as the captain turns around and picks up his great axe from the night before that he used to almost murder Umber, and he slowly approaches back over again. I didn't see him mid-summer, but I wanted to. And he turns around and approaches this person on the ground, on the stone. And they raise up the axe. And they bring down the axe.
Valerie slowly shuts her eyes. There's nothing we could have done for him.
Does anybody continue to look?
I guess I will.
The eye
I
on the
wa-
effigy glows. And then the leader bends down and picks up the head of this individual by their hair and just turns it around the crowd for everyone to see. And Azarine's going to roll a perception check for me.
Perception.
Unless you just take the looking glass from Valerie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the looking glass.
She seems to have stopped looking anyway.
Yeah, she stopped looking, so I'm just like.
Okay. You peer through and you can see some of the people in the back of the crowd have like also turned away and like kind of have, and you can see a few of them kind of like comforting one another. There's other people who are just like Kali Ma, like basically all in, but then people towards the back trying to like kind of hide themselves, hiding. A few people seem to be disgusted or scared or confused.
Are they wearing like the guys that are like looking away? They're not wearing the armor, right?
Some of them are not wearing armor. Some of the ones that are a little bit off-put are wearing armor, but I mean, it's just armor.
Alright, so
Some people might
it's
just be wearing it because they want to.
Alright, so it's just mixed. Alright, there wasn't like a whole like
there's
the
no
people
clear
in the
definition.
armor are like the soul, like bigly, like they're like all in this. So
You can't tell. There's a few people in armor who are also like their masks turn away. Except when the leader like turns the head their way, and then they kind of like look back again, and you can see that they kind of like try to play up like yes, and then as soon as the eyes are off them, they kind of descend back into melancholy. But you also can tell through the looking glass, the head is still alive.
I don't
that's
think
not
that's
something either
normal.
of want to see.
That's not normal.
And its jaws convulsing, and the eyes are like blinking rapidly. You can tell it's trying to make some kind of words, but without any lungs.
Hot?
That
Well,
And then the body is thrown onto the fire, and then the head is thrown onto the fire.
that's not okay.
Kalima.
this
Oh,
isn't
boy.
necessarily something that I want to draw, but
The eye begins to fade again on that effigy or that statue.
Azreen looks at Valerie. Oh boy. This
what are
seems
you
like
going to tell me about this? Valerie shows Azarine a drawing.
Yeah.
We have learned even more than we needed to. Let's get out of here.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm done. I'm good. Let's go. And
Okay.
she like hands a spyglass to Valerie, and she makes her way back down.
Okay. You roll a dexterity check. Not a saving throw, just a dexterity check.
Dexterity. Boop. 8.
Okay.
Man, Azreen, you're dropping the ball today.
That's pretty bad. You thud
It's a
face
fairly
first
shocking
into something.
experience, to be fair.
Yeah, you're pretty distracted. You just you thump straight into something in front of you. You turn around and try to like kind of scurry down the hill, and you just trip into.
Valerie like slides down the hill and looks back up at Azarine.
You see Azarine
Just
just bounce off of nothing. You see her head just like collide off of thin air. She falls on her butt.
I just land face first and eat dirt. Ugh. What the hell? I turn back and look to see what I tripped over.
Okay. You see two shoes on the ground, and then you see the bottom of a pant leg, and then you see the knees of a pant leg, and the top of the pant leg, and a belt, and then a shirt, and part of a duster, and slowly forming into being, you see Quill. Oh my goodness, my dear lady, I am so sorry. I scurried up as fast as I could to try and peek with what I could see, but I did not mean to bump into you. Hey, let me help you.
Good.
She like
God.
looks at him like, what? How?
My brain registered that as Quill hanging for some reason, and I'm like, what happened?
I don't know how you registered that, but okay. He helps you up, and he kind of looks at the two of you, just puts his finger up to his lips like, shh.
Okay.
Secrets of the trade.
Well, we've got info. that I wish I didn't have.
Ah, let us be off then. I must tell you now then, before I forget. If some form of tragic thing would happen to me between now and me finishing this sentence, it would be quite unfortunate now, wouldn't it? Ha ha ha. Now, let me tell you this very important thing. And then... No, I'm teasing. He, Quill, of course, says, while I was down there, I found a secret switch that pulled away part of the wall. There appears to be a tunnel that runs from here, likely all the way to over there. But there might be rooms between which...
You know, I'm glad we actually took the way we did.
You seem to have quite the good view.
Too
Yeah.
good of a view. In fact, I don't want to get any closer than we have.
Azrain just looks kind of green.
Green?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Just so you don't get curious, I have some fairly detailed info of what happened. She shows him a drawing.
That's quite good, but let us discuss as we continue forward. I do not want to stay here any longer than we have.
It was still alive.
I did see patrols coming this way. We should make haste. It seems they are
Yep.
smart enough to leave a watch, as well as a patrol here and there. Let us...
And we're
Venture.
going. We're leaving.
Brookhild, Gareth, Umber, and Miyamoto. You're in the inn. It's late midday. How you doing? What are you doing?
Alright. Well, Umber, we should get to seeing some of your friends.
Sounds fine as well to me. Let's let me who to think with, who to start with. We have the innkeep. We have 2 farmers, the local blacksmith, Moya herself. The rest are just school children and teachers.
Let's head out to the farms. I believe we should start out far and work our way in.
If you insist. Let's be off.
Aye.
So, the 2 of you are going to make persuasion rolls.
Wait. Oh, me and Kat.
Yeah, I assume Brookild's here with you.
Kat.
Well, actually, tell you what.
Kat might be dead.
Hold on, Cat might be dead, but also I'm gonna redefine
I'm not dead, I was just muted.
the methods of
Alright.
success
Sorry.
here. I think we've done this before, but I'm gonna do a quick refresher because it's been a while, both by a vacation and also by I don't remember the last time I did this. But what we're about to enter is a skill challenge, which is call it a mini game, if you will. It's neither combat nor just RP. You need to accrue 3 successes before you accrue 3 failures, and what you need to do is you need to go down your list of skills, and you need to think of how can I accomplish the task at hand using one of these skills, and you just say we need to get out of this burning building. I'm going to use my athletics to try and wrench open the door. And I say, sounds great, roll athletics. 15, fantastic. You wrench open the door, that's 1 success. We're 1 step closer to escaping the burning building. However, in this case, your mission is to try and recruit people. So, this is now a skill challenge.
Out of a burning building.
Out of a burning building.
I'm a burning building. You need to get 3 successes. You cannot use the same skill twice. Once you use it, it is burned. You have to figure something else out. And so this is the next few hours. It's just you 2 and Umber and Miyamoto, and you're free to use them in your narrative, but I'm still going to have you guys roll. And the DC will fluctuate depending on how stupid your idea is.
Well, are we gonna get to talk to the NPCs before we have to do our roles, or just doing?
Yeah,
it?
it depends on the
feel out their
situation.
personality and some. Or
That's what I mean,
Mhm.
right? Because we're going to the farmer duo first, I think.
Yeah, but there's going to be for example, there's several dozen people who live in this village, and while I believe that Gareth and Brookhill do have enough time and desire to actually talk to every single person, we don't.
Okay.
So we'll do a few people. We'll
first
represent
off,
them by.
How many weapons do we have to arm these people that we're recruiting? Because we're not gonna fucking send people butt ass naked fight a death cult.
Well, why don't we?
Well,
that sounds like it could be part 1 of your skill challenges, because the mission at large
suppose we
is
should talk to the smither first, so the farmers, if we want to do that.
okay. Let's say that the skill challenge's mission is assemble a defense for the town. And to that end, it might involve procuring weapons or convincing people to fight for you, or this, that, and the other thing.
So let's go to Smither, the
Okay.
Smith first, actually. Then
You head down the way to the
so then we
smith's.
can use that if we succeed. there.
Sure. To the north of the town is a small shack with a large furnace burning inside. Most of it's just out. You can tell that this place is very lackluster in terms of its abilities. It's mostly just horseshoes and wheelwright stuff and, like, you know, nails, stuff like that. Like people that use things every day. And you see two people inside hammering away on the most recent project. Outside, the sign reads Bing Brothers Smithery.
Yeah. Okay.
You proceed inside, you knock on the door, whatever you need to do.
Yes. Yeah. I guess since Gareth was the one, like we should probably get some other people here. I guess he'll lead this operation, even though he's not the most charismatic man.
No, but he's certainly impressive.
So he heads in.
All right, you head on in.
Yeah.
You can tell this place was not designed for someone of your stature. You have to kind of squeeze in through the door.
Yeah.
You can tell immediately these two dwarves turn around and look at you. They're both clean-shaven, kind of baby-faced, and they look near identical. And one goes, "Hey, what do you want? What do you want? Hey, what are you doing here? Wait, hey, what are you doing here?"
My name is Gareth Durand, and I am.
The other one says, "Are you a cop?"
Bruegel actually tries not to.
I am not.
She puts her hand
Hey,
to,
you!
like,
If you're a cop, you have to tell me. That's the law.
And good
pats
for
Gareth on the
you.
arm and just kind of pushes him aside a little because she was like pretty much hidden behind him. She's trying not to laugh. She's gonna.
They both turn and goes,
to her
"Oh my
mouth.
god, they have a dwarf! A dwarf! Oh my god, they have a dwarf! Hello, miss."
Gareth like hears that, he's like, and he just goes over and sits. It's like kind of like
Same,
sits. He sits on like one of the counters.
Bruegel has the same expression. She's just like, oh, so good. And
Oh, how the turntables.
how the turntables. This is the worst day of her life because she's in this embarrassing situation, and Gareth is looking at her, being in this embarrassing situation. So,
They both take turns trying to hand off the hot thing to the other one so that they can then go over and talk
potato.
to. Yeah, there's hot potato. Like, "Oh yeah, hold this for a second, would you? Yeah. Well, hold on, hold this for me. Oh yeah, hold this for a second." And they're both like immediately just starting to realize like we're not getting anywhere.
hi.
Hey.
My name is Brughild. I assume you lot have been living here for more than a few months by now. Am I wrong?
Oh, for about 3 years now. Yeah, they're about 4. I think it's 4.
I do not need to inform you then that raids on this village have been happening regularly. She's
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to be professional about it, you know, just not. I'm not.
Started around a month ago or something like that. After our field disappeared off the face of the map.
I see. Thank you for that pop filter. the pop filter test. Well, what
yeah.
helped to stop it?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, well, sounds good to me. Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been on knowing you, lady. We're actually just finishing up our last horseshoe before we, skedaddle.
You're gonna stay right there. We're gonna need weapons.
They both just sort of nod at you.
She doesn't like. It's like this is too easy. Something's wrong somewhere. Like.
Yeah, you're definitely probably gonna need weapons if you want to go and take on
They're
people like
missing
that.
The point, dwarf.
Bye. Good luck finding those weapons.
Are you too daft, or do you just look that way?
They look at each other. They look offended. They have a combined intelligence modifier of -4.
Do they really?
Oh yeah, we're out of here. If you wanted like a ring or like a horseshoe or something, maybe
she
a
turns
nail.
to Gareth and like she's just rubbing her forehead. How many do we get? Like what? 10?
Alright. How much, gentlemen? How much more raw steel do you have? Or steel, iron, any working metals?
Oof. Oh, man, mister, you're... Oh, man. We got a lot of leftover iron just from, like, nails that I guess we can melt down for stuff. I think we're starting to pick up what you're putting down. I think I'm starting to smell what you're stepping. But I don't really like it. We got
I
some
don't
rusty
care.
nails that we can melt down if you want a bunch of raw ingots. But I mean, we're getting the hell out of here. I don't feel like getting beheaded in the next 48 hours or so. He
You
counts
can
on his
leave
fingers.
once we have the weapons.
48 hours is a day, is 2 days, right? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's 72. 72 hours.
How
Garrett
many?
doesn't say anything. They can just keep on giving him higher numbers. He's fine with that.
What kind of weapons? Okay, Brugel would have no idea actually what kind of weapons to get for a militia.
We would need short swords, primarily.
Oof, buddy,
You should get spears.
Listen.
I'm just saying.
we make a lot of things.
Spears would actually.
We're not.
Spears are peak militia.
We're not really weaponsmiths. I think you guys are missing the point. We make horseshoes. Richard here made a bunch of weapons maybe back in the day before we lost everything that was on the east side. But I mean, what are you expecting us to do here? Everyone here is a bunch of wiry old fucking humans and dwarves and, I'm sorry, gnomes. I think y'all should kick it. You should leave if y'all want to keep this place alive.
That is what I wanted to do, but, you know.
I mean, a few people might get cut down while we're fleeing, but I mean, you can't make an omelet without,
Just, you know what? You're right. My apologies. By the way, why were you worried about me being a member of law enforcement?
They look at each other. No reason whatsoever. It's because we love cops. I was gonna give you this muffin.
What's in the muffin?
That's my lunch. Are you really gonna give it to him? Shut the fuck up.
Can I roll insight, please?
Sure.
God damn it. Well, I mean, I know
it's hard. It's hard to see. It's hard to figure out what's happening.
It's hard to
in
tell
emptiness.
which part is the bullshit. It's like it's difficult. Like obviously they're not being truthful, but like what about like
Potentially everything.
Potentially they might not even be named the Bing brothers. Like you don't know where it begins or where it ends. But I mean, you can be just as suspicious as you want to be as the player.
I am. I mean, he is very suspicious.
Gareth
and...
is way more suspicious. Brugel doesn't care. It's like, what? If she really...
Well, no, he's not suspicious that they're going to do something bad, but he's thinking of...
You've been around the town, right? These people are toast. There's not a single fighter amongst them.
I suppose so. But no. What if... Gareth is trying to plan something.
If you could show me a single individual in this town that could even hit a can off of a fucking bench at 30 paces, then like maybe there'd be something that we could do for you. Umber walks in, and she kind of gives you a short little wave with her left hand in the sling.
Oh, right. I see the issue. Never mind.
All right, well...
Fuck.
Let's make a deal.
Pardon me.
Fuck. Henry Cable voice. Fuck. Let's make a deal, shall we?
Wait, tell you what, because all right, a fellow dwarf, we can talk. I don't know about deal, but we can talk.
Let's just talk.
We're talking here.
Yet. You make a handful of weapons for us, and we will pay you for every weapon that we cannot put into a civilian's hands. The rest you can keep afterwards. If you live.
They look at each other, very confused. Wait, okay, so we make a bunch of weapons, and you'll pay us for every one you don't use?
Yeah, the ones we use will be used to keep your dumb hides alive.
So if we just sit here in this forge, and we crank out like a whole heck of a bunch of spears or hatchets all day, you'll pay us for all the extra ones you all don't need? I've never been paid for something that nobody has.
Maybe not hundreds, but...
You underestimate dwarven prowess.
Yes.
I do not. I underestimate you.
That's cold. That's very cold of you, Brookhill.
Dwarven honesty. I owe it to you.
You're right, I respect that.
Old Kevin, can you teach these nutheads how to make a sword? I don't know.
I mean,
Seems
one
like
of them
something
said
you
that
should
they
know how to do.
already. I do, but they said that they knew as well.
What do we know?
Weapon making.
Maybe. Well, I mean, if we got something here, maybe.
Oh, fuck.
We can get a bunch.
All
We can see. Hey, listen. Listen. We might be able to do some spears and some arrowheads. That's a possibility, especially if you're going to pay us for the surplus, because we can make a surplus.
That was the dwarf's deal. Mine might be a little more conscriptive, Gareth says as he produces his Inquisitor's badge.
They purse their lips. Buddy, I'm gonna sue you so fucking good for not telling me that you were a cop. I'm gonna find a bard, and I'm gonna sue you.
The
This
bar.
guy's such a fuck ass.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to have my my hearing in the federal court. I promise you it will probably be a good one. Anyways, how about you now start working on what you just said you could do, and then once you're done, you can, as you said, pick up and skedaddle.
We're still getting paid, right?
That's all up to the dwarf, not to me.
Federal pardon. I didn't think about that one. You're smart sometimes.
And Gareth,
You should do that more. Being smart, I mean. Not telling everyone you're a fucking cop.
All right, listen. How about we work out something a bit more normal and above board? How about we make a bunch of spears and we just get paid for the normal spears that you guys take? Is that good? Can we do that?
Dwarf?
How much?
I just normal spear amount. What? It's like a few gold.
I'm just wondering, because, you know, you fellas seem like you might forget how money works. Forgot how many hours on a day.
They go to the back of the room and they kind of look over what leftover iron they have and what other kind of materials they might have as well. And kind of just count it up, and most of it's actually bronze, and wrought iron, nails. A gold piece every spear. All right, listen, there can't be more than 30 people in this village, maybe around 70. We can do that.
Let's not count the children.
Is that not counting the children? Okay, probably less without the children then. Are you sure you don't want to make the children fight? I feel like that might be wasted opportunity. I've been doing the forge ever since I was 3.
She just sighs.
And I got the
Get
fingers
this
to
over
prove
with.
it. And he only has 2 fingers left on his right hand.
Oh, dear. Mother goddess. Okay, all right.
Hey, all right, listen. We'll start cranking them out if you can pay. We'll start with 30 spears. That's 30 gold, half up front. How's that sound? 15.
Half up front? I want to see one first. What quality?
All right, we'll come back in an hour.
Oh, fuck. All right.
She holds out a hand very
We are wasting time
tentatively.
here. We need to go talk to the others. And Garrett just turns and leaves. Like he actually is at his limit with these two.
Impressive.
She
They'll
holds out
make a
hand
spear.
very, very tentatively, just like because
He
you know,
spits
you
in it.
gotta,
He
but-
spits in his hand, and he shakes your hand.
you can see her face, like like when Kermit scrunches up his face, like that's basically the expression she
Yeah.
does. Just like
A shiver runs up your hand, through your wrist, through your elbow, through the rest of your body. And he shakes it. And let's go. In an hour, we'll have one. If you guys really think you can, but we're going after that, man. Like, these people are all toast. If you want to hang around and arm them and see what you can make of them, by all means. But we'll drop you off these spears and whatever else you might think you want, and then we're skadootin'.
Suppose you've got no bills on your face because you didn't earn them.
What'd you just say to me?
You heard me. Come on. Get working on those spears. And she kind of waves them off with her hand and she heads out.
All right. Where are we going next? I guess that is not really part of the skill challenge. But, you've procured weapons.
The skill was money.
The skill is money.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yes.
the skill is a spell
Same skill
or
Batman
money.
has.
Hell yeah. The 1% power. Where next, man?
Let's go to the farmers.
Okay, I'm going to save us some time. We're out in the fields.
All
The
right.
farms, the crops have
Hopefully
been
the
doing
rest
great
of-
with the climate.
Hopefully the rest of the village has more brain cells than those two.
Gareth farms down
I don't know
like
what
the
brain
two,
cells.
and kind of approaches them.
All right, you see two humans off in the distance. One's just a scruffy older man, maybe in his late 50s. The other one's a bit younger, in his 40s. And they approach you. One looks like the hand of the other one being the landowner, the other one just being kind of the assistant. And he approaches you, and he leans down on his scythe.
Can I help the two of you?
Yes, Umber here said that you didn't enjoy giving a bump of your crop to those marauders, and
No, sir.
and we're here to help do something about that. And we were looking for assistance.
The old man raises an eyebrow. Very wry, old eyebrow.
Hmm.
Very
A
weathered
militia of
face.
sorts, if you will.
A militia.
Just some.
Indeed,
Fire.
strong, capable fighters.
Oh yeah, Miyamoto's here
Thanks,
too. I
Miyamoto.
forgot.
I forgot Miyamoto was here.
He wasn't here at all during the drawers, but now he's here.
They were
Waited
exceedingly
outside.
creepy.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, who's ever seen a dwarf without a beard?
It was like a naked rabbit or a mole.
Quite. Anyways, yes, as my friend here was saying, we are looking for able bodies to help defend the village, because while we are here currently to help, we won't be here forever. And we need to... It will be tough for me to leave in good conscience if something like this could rise up again.
We do plan on taking care of most of the threat ourselves, but for posterity, just general safety. Think we would feel better leaving some manner of armed force back here while we go deal with the problem over there.
The old man kind of looks past the two of you at Umber, just goes, "Are these the people that you found out in the wilds?" And she kind of half nods.
In the wilds, we were out and you met us in the inn.
Just go along with it. You're not the first people that I tried to convince to stay in the town.
Fair enough. Yes. Umber told us her plight, and I suppose our conscience of ours decided to listen, and here we are.
Well,
Kind of rolls her eyes a little bit, just like, conscience, blah blah blah.
I thank you for what you're doing, and I really hope you succeed. But me and mine, we're but humble folk, and part of me thinks that my time might be better spent just farming and pulling crop to make sure we have enough to pay the tithe the next time it comes around. Last time we left out an whole big offering, and we all seemed to make it out all right.
You might have enough to pay for the offerings, but then what about for the rest of the town?
Oh, well, we've managed so far through blight and famine before. Just another
Right.
locust.
When Allfield was still around.
All right, we're re-engaging skill challenge mode. So far, you have 1 success due to the power of money. Now we are in the second mode, and you are invited to look over your list of skills. What do you think is most applicable for the situation?
I got nothing. Like, I got nothing really. Like, I am.
Roll something, man. I mean, like, a
Brugild's
20
here
is a
too.
20.
Ryan, you roll something, Brugill. Like, I'm.
You're
Also,
the one
this
talking
is
to this
a
guy.
this is a way for you to maybe like try and think outside the box and be like, what is Gareth good at, and how can I use that to try and convince people or sway the tide or somehow give us some kind of advantage in whatever battle might come. It is a challenge to try and think outside the box and what
I guess
might be your-
I'll roll along with what Garrett's got started and aye, sure, you can make it through the famines and the locusts, and that's not something we can stop. But it doesn't have to be a next time. It doesn't have to be a next raid. You can just take care of that. Once you're done with it, New Haven will be on the map for being an untakeable town. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a bot.
Brookhild, I mean, I'm gonna ask you to
yeah,
get a 23
yeah.
is what I'm gonna ask you to do.
Fuck.
He nods and he just goes,
I have a +5, like...
well, I love this
But now I
town and I don't
wasted
want
my
to see it get
persuasion.
buried, but, well, I guess what are you looking for then? Just people, huh?
Mm.
All right, we'll see what we can do. Me and my sonny over here, and maybe his kids as well, might be able to wrestle something up. Few of us can string a bow, and I can swing a scythe, but I don't know if that'll be the best that we can do. I hope you have a plan.
Don't worry. Actually, in the evening, with whoever you can, come back to the town center.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Good luck there, you ragtag group of ruffians. That's 2 successes.
That's 2 successes. Okay.
I wasted my fucking persuasion, though.
You burned your persuasion now,
You did
unfortunately.
burn your
I
persuasion.
burned my plus...
Okay.
I do have
Well, I mean-
+5
Wait,
intimidation
Is
as
it
well.
is
What
it
the-
burned if you get a wild success out of it though? I mean, you only need 3, and you're now
True.
33. You're now 34% closer to
I
your.
have +5 intimidation too, which I always forget about. I always forget that Brookild is scary.
Brugil can make a lot of threats that a lot of people will believe that she can deliver on. But I don't know if that's
So,
applicable
question:
in certain situations.
what was burned for the dwarf pair? Was it
Money.
it both?
Money?
Was it
Yeah, essentially,
or just money?
the badge and the money are burned as a combination form of. You've burned your material resources, which includes like your ability to spend money and your ability to
We
just pull out
basically
your
spent XP, yeah.
Your badge, yeah, okay.
and your badge is part of your material resources.
Gotcha. All right. Well, now it's time to talk to Moira, I suppose.
All right. If you head down to the nearest area, that's the
What, you
governmental
want me to fight?
building.
No, we just need her
Oh, to help
to
it. Oh, yeah, you're right.
prove
Sorry, I just-
approve of this. And if she does, more people will join.
She was so hunched over, I was afraid she'd fall and just keel over and die.
I was not. I'm not going to ask her to fight, dwarf. Anyways,
You get to the clock tower in the center of town. It's a short clock tower. Don't get anything too crazy in your head. There's something very modest. And beneath it is a building attached that is the only like town hall that this place possibly could know. It also doubles as the library and the community center and like anything else that the town needs it to be. And her office is in there. You walk in and it's a much cooler sensation. The hot sun is off of your faces. And you walk in and there's a small clerk. A young man who sits behind the counter and is mostly just looking after the books and dusting things and kind of waves at you. He tips his hat. You don't need him to like welcome you in though. You can see Moira's room, her office, if you really want to call it that. Just right over there.
Well,
It's like 10 feet
yeah,
down.
yeah. He's gonna like kind of afternoon, and then he's gonna lead in.
Okay. You approach the door.
Knocks twice.
You hear a little come in.
All right, and he opens it and kind of like hunches over to get through the door. And
You
kinda
bend
stands
down and
back
get
up
through.
to-
Yeah, this is a mostly gnome-sized town. The humans are the outliers who should not have been counted. And you even more so. Brookhill, right at
Don't know what
home.
you're
This
talking
place
about.
is built
Perfectly
for you, really.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
I love this place.
I don't have to stretch to reach the dishes on the top shelf. It's great.
Little dusty, but we'll have to
Miss
climb the
Mayor?
fucking chairs.
Hello there, young man. I believe you are Gareth.
Gareth, yes. We have seen the threat that ails your town, and we have decided to assist you in this endeavor.
Oh, well, I appreciate it, though I really wished to not involve anyone from outside. I will be most remorse if you are to perish in the defense of this place.
Hmm. Well, we are not only trying to solve your immediate problem, but to help future-proof any potential marauders as well. We have been going around and finding able-bodied people to form a small militia for New Haven. And we would like your assistance in forming this.
Oh, why, I don't know if I can, comfortably, in good conscience, request of any of my villagers to potentially throw their lives away.
You are doing just that every single night when they come on their raids, ma'am, to speak bluntly.
She sits back in her chair. This iron might be hot for a skill check.
I can't
But
help you.
I know, but I am trying to offer a solution. No, because you can't have Umber here running out into the forest, into the wilds, trying to find any adventurer who might come this way. I am suggesting that you are building a small force here just to help, just stave off anything. Yes, this first task might be a little daunting, but then afterwards, I assure you, it should get easier. But, and I can understand it, you might tell me that none of you are soldiers, none of you fight. Is that true?
You would be correct.
I am willing. I believe we have one day, a few days. I'm quite unsure of the time, and of course, once we get our recon back, we will get more information. But you have 2 veteran soldiers actually at your disposal, and who could excuse me. We could teach your town folk how to defend themselves. We have the weapons to train them with and to use at their disposal.
Oh, this is, I have great fear, I'm afraid, Gareth. I know you not, and I don't want you to be biting off more than you can chew. As a visitor to my village, I take it on myself to protect you all as well. I would fear for your... Oh, what's the word? I don't want to cast doubt on your abilities. I just...
Miss Moya, if I may. We would ask the others, but they do not trust us either. The villagers love you, and they know you. And the longer this goes on, the worse it gets for everyone. This problem won't solve itself ever. It won't get better. They won't stop. If anything, they'll keep asking for more. And you can watch as your people leave or die one by one from starvation or attacks, and or you can try. You can try something out.
What I am proposing here, Miss Moira, is a plan that will help put New Haven as a major stopping point between Cape Solomon and the rest of Winthrow as well.
I suppose we now have had this responsibility thrust upon us now that Allfield has been buried by... Anyway, even so, I just don't know if I can trust your abilities. You have yet to show me anything that...
Okay, sorry, has she not seen us fucking kick ass the other time?
Not really.
Or me and Miyamoto fighting each other.
She kind of missed those things, unfortunately.
Well,
Miyamoto
Miyamoto speaks up.
I'm messaging you.
Yeah, Miyamoto speaks
real
up.
Well, I
quick.
mean, you can message me if
pulls
you
it
want. I mean, oh, I don't know, but I don't
No,
know.
this is a semantics question.
Oh, I'd rather you say it out loud, man. We gotta entertain.
Well, I'm gonna say it out loud once I know.
All right, fine. Put upon me your questions. Lay upon me your earthly woes, your desires, your concepts. Oh shoot, that's an interesting question.
Yeah,
I think it did have a real name.
I did have a real name, but I don't know it. And I can't just ask you because then it kind of deflates the.
Let me go and
it's
check
already
real
being
quick.
deflated.
Even though it's already been deflated, I know. It's named after the town that it's nearby. Do you remember?
Oh fuck.
Do
I
you
need to
have the
find
map?
pen. I pinned it.
Gareth
in
is thinking
my-
about blasting out some fucking some deep knowledge,
some
fucking
deep
lore.
knowledge.
some deep lore knowledge. He's about to leverage his knowledge of the setting.
It's an alt strat, I think, right?
This is yeah, I think you're correct. It's out on the water. It's out on the ocean. It's
Yeah.
it's on the coast.
Yes.
It's the
I understand that. But I was once an Inquisition officer, and I was not only that, but I was trained in the Altstrat Academy. And we have a master from the South Seas as well, who, to his own claim that I see myself as true, that none can match his blade.
Moya leans forward on her desk, steeples her fingers in front of her face, elbows on her desk, and leans exceedingly close. Darkness kind of envelops her eyes, and she whispers at you from across the room.
From across the room.
Show me.
Are we gonna fight more?
Are we fighting? Gareth is like you know, a little like wasn't expecting that sort of answer. Is she just sitting there? Does she like stand up? Does she?
She stands up and walks out of the room.
He
Bruno
follows.
kinda stares
he
at him.
follows.
She looks and she's like, "Told you."
He follows, and I guess Miyamoto does too.
Miyamoto does as well. He cracks
Well,
his
this is-
neck as he goes.
Well, this is gonna be on because I don't have my armor on, but yay!
Oh, you're not supposed to kill her, you fool.
All right, and so where does she lead us?
Yeah, and she just kind of walks out into the street, and Miyamoto's like,
Yes, Moya, we shall show you the great swordsmanship that we have to offer. We shall train you in the finest of ways this town. When we are done, no force will be greater on this side of the map. Gareth, let us show her our technique. No.
Excuse me.
Gareth, strike me.
Pick me.
Ma'am,
Pardon
you
me,
can't.
ma'am. I am not going to strike an unarmed official.
She kicks the ground, she kicks the dirt, and the dirt under your feet kicks out from under you. And you catch yourself.
Old lady soldier.
Magic using old lady!
From about 10 feet away,
No,
she
she's
just
unlocked.
she kicked the ground, and the sand beneath you shifted out from under you, like the rug pulled out from you, and you catch yourself.
Bruno
She
does a little
hands her cane
polite
off
golf
to
clap.
she hands her cane to Brookhild.
Young miss, if you'd be so kind as to hold this for me.
Of course.
Alright. And
She
Gareth-
straightens her back, and you just hear.
Oh god, I don't like that sound. Gareth just sighs because he's like, "Oh my fucking
Bruno
god!"
kind of she leans over to Moya and she's like, You don't have to take. He's gonna be fine. You can just go all out. It's okay.
And Garrett kind of like unhooks the great sword from his scabbard, leaving the long sword that's still attached to his back, like to his waist, kind of just hanging, and kind of just readies it. And like you can see like a little bit of the tassel, the blue tassel, kind of flowing from the bottom of the hilt. On your guard, and he's gonna charge and swing.
Okay. I think that for your third and final skill challenge check, I'm going to ask that you give me an athletics check.
Oh, just athletics? Okay.
Well, you can use athletics to. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll. Yeah, I mean, you can use like now that you've succeeded and we have 3, I can go back and say like, for example, yeah, you can be like, oh, I'm really good at athletics. I'm going to show them like I am big and strong. I can protect people. Like I am physically capable of like look at me, I will help you. I will show you. I will train you.
She wanted to see my moves, so I have charged her and I have.
You're gonna swing at her.
And I mean, like I'm gonna do like basically a flurry kind of.
Sure,
deal.
you go for the flurry. You go in for your usual amount of attacks that you would, of course, just without actually kind of lethal intent. And as you strike
so like
cleanly
10,000
through the air,
because fucking superiority guy.
And she narrowly dodges out of the way of each strike as it kind of goes down in turn. You're moving slower than you would because it's not lethal. But she narrowly dodges out of each, just her body kind of moving like the wind. It's like trying to cut a thin piece of thread. That's just like it just keeps moving out of the way as the like cutting a piece of thread with a sword. Like the wind seems to be moving it out of the way. And as she does, she just continually just dodges and weaves out of the way. And you come out the other side and kind of like take a deep breath, and she doesn't seem to be winded, and she goes, "The both of you." And Miyamoto kind of looks over at Gareth, and he seems exceedingly confused, like he bit off more than he could chew.
I crit success that. What? Come on.
You did. Don't worry. You've already succeeded. But Miyamoto also steps forward, and he like takes out his blade as well. He leaves it sheathed. He goes in for an attack against Grandma as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kick his ass, Grandma. I got your cane.
She ducks underneath it. Do you want to roll another athletics?
Yeah, sure. I'll roll another athletics.
You swipe low while Miyamoto swipes high, and she jumps in a limbo pose and splits the difference between the two of you. And then touches down on her feet.
How fucking terrifying.
And,
does she do anything after she lands?
I love her.
No, she just gently, softly floats down to the ground gracefully. And the two of you are flanking her on both sides, with your blades drawn very in your traditional stances, the Ichi. And kind of like looking at her, a little bit confused and also a little bit on edge. A single piece of hair falls off of her head, having been cut by Gareth Kelmu Duran. She exhales and just goes, "All right, if you are content to potentially die for our village, and you think that you really can train our people to be more defensive, then I welcome you to try. I suppose you are right. We have to defend ourselves at some point. These are not any ordinary bandits, and without our field we are proverbially lost without a paddle."
Lady Moira, are you from the Six Hills?
She narrows her eyes at you. "We will speak no more of this. We have a busy day ahead of us."
Brugel heads over and like it does a little curtsy as she hands her cane to just like mad respect, like just fucking.
Okay. Well then. What do you think, Miyamoto?
I think I've never been more frightened and also excited in my life. We must begin training immediately if we are to contend with those creatures, though.
I agree.
We have our people, we have our weapons, and we have our consent.
Aye. Let's go check on those weapons.
You return back after an hour,
I'm
and
not looking forward to seeing those footnuts again.
the Bing brothers present you with a single iron arrowhead, steel hardened. It is of relative substantial quantity, obviously built with economy in mind. but it will certainly hurt somebody. It's been sharpened to a keen edge.
It's
Garrett's gonna put it into his palm, and he's just gonna squeeze a little bit to see how much it takes for it to start to cut.
Roll sleight of hand. This is an artful maneuver you're trying to pull off. That's fine. An average person could tell when they like, oh, I'm gonna stop before I hurt myself.
Well, I mean, he's not gonna let it go all the way in, but like he doesn't mind if he draws blood. Like,
all right, you cut in as much as you can. You get a little bit of skin. You kind of like shave up a little bit. Nothing so crazy. Nothing more than a paper cut. But it is a keen edge.
But it's a keen edge, and it didn't take much for it to cut. Correct.
Not a lot of pressure. No.
Excellent. All right.
She like pulls out her money pouch.
Well, I told you. Dwarven steel. That's the good stuff. You guys are lucky we had so much left on hand as scraps. It takes us a little sharpening, a little keen, a little reheating, a little tempering to get that little relaxed steel in there. Oh yeah, you gotta work the kinks out. It's like a tired man at the end of the day, you know.
How many?
It's excellent because make sure you make a few weapons that you yourself enjoy to wield.
Yeah, if you insist. It's gonna be it's gonna be 15 for the half up front, and then the other 15 when we're done.
Dwarf.
She glares at Gareth, like just glares daggers, just like shut the fuck up. I am on it. Fucking sit your ass down. And she pulls out she pulls out 30 gold.
Just gonna pay up all front?
Yeah, it's the rush fee, I guess.
I understand. You just plop these gold pieces in their hands, they kind of shake it, and they kind of look at you with that kind of quizzical, they kind of like respond, and they kind of like go, eh, and they bite down on one of them. And they attest
I don't
it.
think I would carry fake gold.
Nothing
It's
personal.
impossible.
Nothing personal. It's important for the trade. And they continue working. And they
Wade.
Yeah, the Twade.
Yeah, the trade.
Wade.
Yeah, something to say, Gareth? Gareth DeWand? They go back to hammering
I'm gonna go
spears.
start planning the curriculum immediately.
Between you and Miyamoto, at the end of the day, you get people coming in, silver farmers who have told this person or told that person the other.
She hurries after them just because she doesn't want to be left alone with the dwarf fuckos. They're weird. She doesn't like that.
You are left with Miyamoto and Gareth as like more people kind of pour in. Umber has managed to convince a few of the younger people that she's friends with as well. And you assemble a small contingent.
Excellent.
One quote-unquote unit is formed. Roughly, say about 30 people.
Excellent.
And you provide them with just sticks as surrogate spears for now. A few have bows as well, and some own a sword. Some have like heirloom swords, like my father's father's father, or my father's mother's father, or my mother's 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 fought in the war. And
Excellent.
I have this is their sword, and they kind of bring it with them. And Miyamoto's like, I shall show you great techniques from where I originate.
Well, I'm useless now.
You did your part.
You did your most important business, which is being a sugar mama for Gareth.
And
Miyamoto.
No, and you were able to talk to.
Oh yeah, and you
farmers as well.
persuaded several people. But sugar mama is really.
Thank you, dwarf.
I guess nobody. She was thinking about something, but she doesn't remember now. You're like,
Garrett's already turned around and left.
Thank you.
did I hallucinate? Am I drunk?
Azreen and Valerie.
Yeah.
The day.
Wait. I just wanna. There's no like. Nobody does like magic, I guess, except me.
In this, roll Arcana. Roll Arcana to see if you could suss out if anybody knows magic in the place that's magic is banned.
I want to know. I want to know their addresses. I want to know their family history.
Well, the local vicar knows recovery magic, and she also knows a few other things as well. And part of her Sunday school has been involving teaching other people, like some of the younger folks, recovery magic as well. And then with a 20, you kind of start to piece together that a few of these like younger kids, having like tasted a little bit of magic, they're like, okay, but what can I learn? Sacred Flame? Like Sacred Flame? Like a few of them are kind of like starting to dabble in things that they really shouldn't, but it's the equivalent of.
The question is, like, how is Brookehild or like the others, like, because I'm just thinking, right? Because she has the tome.
What's your question?
Right, but casting magic is still, like using your own ether and like.
Also, Brookehild was magically familiar even before the tome.
Absolutely disgusting. Anyways, continue.
So yeah, I'm gonna show the kids some really horrible tricks that they should not do at all.
Okay, roll. I'll just keep the 20 Arcana. That's really good.
It's like the 10 times worse version of a cool uncle that passes like their nephew will be.
Yeah, but I'm passing the kids how to throw fireballs.
Blows up the kitchen with an eldritch
You
blast.
teach them
Don't
sacred
show
flames
your
to these
mom
fucking kids. And the vicar's very annoyed about it, but she understands that this is a time of emergency and they really do need to learn something that's actually like self-defense. And she gives them like a pass, even though it's not really her right to give them that. And then that's when Ray comes out.
No.
And sees what you're doing. He goes, "What are you doing?"
I am teaching the ways of magic to the youth.
You're
No
teaching the
problem with
ways
that?
of magic to the. Wait, you just showing them stuff like that? Huh?
I don't really know anything else.
He takes a big fucking.
Ah, that's pissy shit. Here, we're gonna show you the real stuff. All right, gather around, kids. Gather around.
And over the course of the next several
Gonna cast
hours,
children to catch hellish rebuke, so that when their parents tell them to go to your room, they can go
yeah,
to your room.
between you and Ray, they learn Sacred Flame, Hellish Rebuke. He's like, "Here's how you spit fire." Blah! It's terrible. It's horrible, really. Azreen and Valerie though.
Ray,
Yes.
no one else are good Yankees. No one else can spit fire like that.
Play with
You
that
spit fire
children,
the other
Ray.
day,
Teach them
Gareth.
horrible
That was
things.
because I had a potion.
I know, I'm just kidding.
He's perpetually drinking potion.
Yeah, well,
Valerie and
potions are a
Azreen.
form of magic. You just broke your own law. Commit seppuku right now.
You two, the day is drawing to a close. It is getting dark. I'm gonna ask you to roll 2 survival checks, and you need to get above a 20 to make it
Oh,
home.
are we still chatting and trying to get back home?
Yeah.
16.
We return to Valerie tries to explain to Azreen what a harlot is.
I
She
still
got
don't understand.
she got like 70% of the way. She got to naked hugging.
She'll deduce things in time, but someday she'll receive the talk from
Listen,
her father when
Azreen-
he returns home from God knows where.
Before that's if she manages to make it there until Brughild gives her the talk.
listen,
my God.
Azreen is dumb. she
She
doesn't
tried
know
really hard.
Jack.
She tried really hard to break it down to her the easy parent way before Brookehild, but she couldn't do it. She failed.
Well, you did what you could. With a 16 and a 13 together, you get a 29. That beats the 20. You make it home like before midnight, but you've been out like all day, from morning till several hours after sundown. You've been traveling.
Bath.
And you get back home, and you're with Quill as well. Azreen takes her bath, and the 7 of you, are reconvening at the inn. And Gareth, I'm gonna have you. You've already the successful skill check. Also means that you've been training these people all day, and I mean, by the end of the day, it's like they're better fighters than they were the day before, but there's little that can be done over the course of just several hours. Hopefully, you have a few more days, maybe.
And
then,
like by the time they get back, like you could see Gareth kind of in the crowd of like how many people do we have?
30.
Growing? 30? Like 30 different people. And like kind of as like the sun's starting to set, he's like, all right, that will be enough. That's enough for today. Come back here tomorrow morning.
they all weakly kind of limp away, having been worked a lot harder in their lives than they're used to. But yeah, I mean, the people are gonna be as whipped into shape as you possibly can manage. They're like level 0 PCs essentially, and maybe by the end of this they'll be level 1 or 2. But it's not.
They're gonna be level 300 by the time I'm done with them.
But yeah, I mean, I don't, and that's just the people. Like, I don't know if Gareth had other plans for like, okay, now we're gonna build a barricade or something like that. But like, that's people are kind of handled. That's the skill check success.
Well, I mean, his focus now is on actually training. Like, if we want to build a barricade, he won't really have time to do that.
We'll see. They don't. You don't guys know if they're gonna come tonight. Because they haven't actually showed up every night. It's just been once during like the full moon for the most part, and then they just kind of showed up in smaller numbers on the shoulders of the moon season of the the lunar cycle. Last night they came in full force, and now this is the first time that they've been driven back. So nobody's really quite sure what's going to happen. But that cycle is probably broken. But you're not sure if they're going to come back like tonight. Umber doesn't seem to be too concerned that they'll come back immediately. But she does still keep an eye out, and she's been going on patrols out in the wilderness for the past like few hours just to make sure. So you have a warning system essentially.
Well, now since everyone's back together,
all y'all are
we're
back.
Kind of
so
sitting in the inn.
food.
Gareth's gonna be like, "So, what was found?"
Found the camp,
Excellent.
and they're worshipping a god I don't understand, and they killed a man, but the man was still alive after his head just was cleaved off, and then they tossed him in the fire.
More
That was a lot.
basicization of the mother goddess's ether. Anyway, we must take care of this quickly.
And the guy in the big armor, he's the leader. But there were a decent amount that didn't really seem to go along with the whole ritualistic thing. Valerie has more. Valerie drew pictures.
You draw?
Here you go. Yes.
Roll sleight of hand. I want to see exactly how good these were.
Wait, sleight of hand from earlier?
Yeah,
For drawing.
I am.
Roll it right now.
As a DM, I am not afraid of retroactive rolls.
Woo!
Damn, they're pretty good.
Garrett kind of just
spent a lot of time
kind
entertaining.
of unfolds his glasses and kind of puts on his nose, and he's like, "All right, let's see here."
Sorry for graphic material.
Wow. Yes, that is a beheading. Was drawing the beheading necessary? You could have just said, but it's fine.
Brugil is like counting like vertebra, just to make sure. She's just like 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's pretty good.
Azreen drew, Valerie drew like a fucking manga, like panel by panel of like what happened.
She basically drew. In this
Yo, is
universe,
this
Valerie
anime?
invented Berserk.
Is that anime? Can you draw me?
Miyamoto
She's
comes up behind you and just goes, "Can you draw me? Is that you?"
Anyways, yes. So, did you see any? So this camp is in a ravine. Are there any possible entrances or?
Yes, there's a secret entrance that Quill actually found. Is he with us?
Oh, excellent.
You left him so far behind. No, yeah, he's been with you this entire time.
Alright.
You probably
Yeah,
spaced
Quill
out because
found
of all the girl gossip.
Yeah.
The girl gossip of the beheading and the counting of the vertebrae. Yeah, he spaced out a little bit halfway through the year because he did not want to explain what a fucking a brothel was or any of that either. But yeah, he's back and he goes, "Ah, yes, indeed, I found a secret entrance into the tunnels that might lead directly to their camp, though there might be several subterranean rooms within. I did not poke my nose further than I needed to."
Yeah, we were the ones who mostly saw the ritual, and it was not great.
Patrols, watchtowers.
2 patrols, 10 minutes apart each.
Oh, excellent. That's actually quite
Wow.
lax. That's actually quite lax.
They are tight patterns. I'd be most careful.
You are quite familiar with what to look for in a camp, Mr. Quill.
He just smiles back at you. I try to be helpful wherever possible.
see. Anyways, we need to farm something. We should probably be 2 separate groups. One that will lead the force of the villagers, and one that will be almost a vanguard, something that will get in there first, most likely using those secret passages, and hopefully taking out the bulk of the force
It would probably be
during the commotion.
the best to have the stealthy people go in.
Right,
Once again,
but if you get caught, I'm just worried that
If we get caught, we'll die, Gareth, and that's why we won't get caught.
Yeah, and if I get caught, I'll just scream.
I don't.
Yeah, and then
I
you'll
still
know we'll die.
believe if you're going to explore these unknown areas, I believe there should be some. So
I will be going and ensure nobody falls to any traps of magical means. And she kind of
that's
side eyes Azarine and Gareth, who like passed themselves the fuck out in the fucking mill.
that is quite wise. Yes, as your arcane aptitude. I was thinking Brughild, Mr. Quill.
I mean,
Uh,
and I don't like this, but I am willing. I could, if there's like a lone guard or personnel, I could try and get as much information out of him as I
Right.
possibly can.
Mr. Quill,
I sign
go off of that.
stuff.
How large were the patrol parties? 2-man, 3-man, 5-man?
They were 2 men each.
Oh, then I could do both. I mean, I could do both.
You'd simply have 10 minutes before the next patrol catches up.
Aye.
Perhaps less, depending on how astute they are. Still a substantial amount of time. Though I must bring
have
up, our
ways.
foe is 3-pronged. We have the bulk
Right,
of the
yes.
horde and their commander, who seems more than capable of fighting on his own.
And then that thing.
Yes, indeed, that thing. Gareth, where are you from again?
I am from Grisha Tepel. Why do you ask?
I just want to ensure that you be familiar with Gratian Tepel Inquisition Automata. For that is what that is.
What?
It might be a stretch, but what if one of us manages to sneak far back onto whatever that vehicle is and hijack it?
Do any of us know how they work?
No, but
Hey.
maybe someone could figure out on the job with lots and lots.
Garrett's quiet for a second. Can I roll history for intimate knowledge of automaton? War automaton or
Like, can I use it roll, or like, do I know stuff
Gareth
about it?
hijacks an automaton.
Hey, I mean, I was trained in the academy. Like
He did work with
there
them.
was
I'll let you roll history. I think that I don't.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay. No, you look at it and you recognize it and you're like, okay, yeah, this is one of ours. I don't know how they got a hold of it. It seems to be an older model, kind of rusted from Valerie's careful shading. But 13, yeah, you've fought alongside them once, but they're usually not like they're war machines. Like they're not used for just like patrolling and maintaining the peace.
Gareth,
Even in the wars that I've been in 2 separate campaigns that those are rarely used.
Those
you
were
try?
a lot of them are left over from the war with the Dark-Eyed Prince. When
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, we used it for the Umber, or the fucking what is it called? God, it's not the Sarajevo. It's the other one.
The uprising at the in the Empire, the rebellions in the Empire.
Yeah, the Umbran uprising. That was what
able to drive one of them.
He, with a 13 history, oof.
Perhaps I.
He still has better
would have
chances
to-
than any of us.
He would
I
have
mean,
to
it was-
roll
it-
for
it
everything he
was-
wants to try and make it do.
It was
Wow.
over a decade since the instructioning, and I wasn't in the profession, so I just had a cursory knowledge.
You know,
But
you know who
we
would know
can
Gareth is
just
your dear
sneak
friend with
you.
the necklace.
if we can manage to sneak you behind there, maybe you could have some amount of time of learning.
How do we
What?
smuggle a thing his size behind
I have
battle line?
no idea, but I don't want them to have it, and if we can use it against them, all the better.
I definitely agree that I might be the best.
Look, I might have
Candidate.
found it, but I have no idea how to operate it. And I'm not
Exactly,
going to
and even some knowledge would be better than no knowledge.
Gareth,
Yes,
you think you might know how to break it?
I definitely would know how to break it, but I mean, I could try to also figure out how to.
I really want Garrett to hijack it and just kill everyone in the camp.
I would feel weird not leading those that I'm planning on training, but if Miyamoto would take my stead as commander in that situation,
I shall wear this proudly.
then I could go into that automaton and take care of it myself.
DM must warn you.
Yeah.
Stealing and riding this thing and actually like doing that plan is a much riskier plan than just attacking it.
Yeah, I know.
Just to let y'all know, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. But I just wanted to warn you that it sounds like that your characters would be like, that sounds like it might be more difficult because there's at least 35 of them, and even if I get in the seat, they might just like shoot me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to warn you, but you're free to do whatever you want.
They didn't have any muskets. I know that for a fact. They have no remote core.
That's true. But
yeah, but they have explosions, and it took you down once.
All right. Oh, actually, so the sun that enveloped me.
Yes.
It did not do any damage to head honcho.
Can you rephrase your question?
Did Odin?
Did he get hurt by his own?
Because I was right next to him.
No, he did not take damage from his own spell.
Okay.
Or his own effect, whatever it is.
Okay, so, okay.
He was unscathed by the sun.
Valerie.
Yes.
I would probably need someone to help me get behind those lines. And it would probably be best if I had an extra sword or two.
I have multiple mental trickeries, but
Yeah, Brookel is also
as
thinking
for a
of like
sword,
if there's stuff she can like. How do I sneak? Like I have like darkness. It's just,
Right. Well, I mean, I think you Quill and Azrin should definitely do the tunneling, right?
Well, we're met with a choice of do we want to fight them on our turf here, or do we bring the fight to them? We might have the surprise, but it is their home.
But my only concern is the aftermath. Even if we are victorious, what of the town?
I don't know if we'll get that far, Gareth.
You raise a point, but
you could be a little more optimistic, Quill, you know.
I like to call myself a realist.
Brookel looks over at the drawings and she sees like, the idol, like the statue, and she's like, if they can draw any sort of power from this, we're very screwed.
Did
The Umber would look at her sketches at this point.
All I know is that I do not want to be under siege from one of those things, especially if it gets closer. Thankfully, last night that thing was still quite out of its effective range. But
well, it's either we take it for our own or we destroy it right here and right now.
Right, but we should try to take it out one way or another before they have it.
Either way, our plan involves this thing, whether we want it to or not.
We could lay an ambush.
Perhaps if things go bad, we just break it.
I think if things go good, we will still break it. It's my concern is that I do not want that thing active at all during our assault. If we could, I don't know.
They didn't bring it during the attack here, did they?
Oh no, they did. They just kept it out of range. It was
It was a couple 100 feet outside of the town. It was just being used like a cannon, essentially from afar, just like bombing the town from
that's
afar.
why we couldn't give chase. If we were given chase, we would have been basically evaporated on the spot.
There's quite a few D4s involved in getting hit with one of those lasers. But Umber would look at the book as well and actually look at the sketches that Valerie has made. Fortunately, she thought ahead and actually brought like pictures back with her. And Umber would go, "That's Falcon.
Falcon?
What?
Excuse me?
That effigy. I've seen it before."
And why do you know of?
Because it's an old folk tale from around here. One of the many spirits that used to live in this area.
Oh, I heard Moya say that name.
Yeah, she said it when you guys were talking about arriving here.
That moon.
Valerie said she saw something.
Yes, I saw a quote-unquote moon, but it was just a giant eye.
I think your giant eye was attached to that.
What?
Falcon is the spirit of storms, of dust storms, of sand, of the desert and the dunes.
The hell was the black spirit telling me to look at the moon?
Well, I don't know
Probably
that.
the D&D itself, or at least an ambassador of it.
You just saw a stone effigy, statue. You didn't actually see it,
Well, apparently I've seen both now.
but not in the same place.
No.
Okay, so we don't have to kill a nature spirit at the same time that
I
we're
mean, it
contending
did-
with a.
I mean, it did glow when the guy beheaded.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Did it glow or did I thought his eyes?
The eye glow.
The eye on the
glowed,
statue glowed.
The
and
eyes on the
so
statue. I
did
thought
his
the guy,
hand.
like the eyes on the guy's mask. glowed
Both
for
of
some
them.
reason.
No.
Alright.
Yeah.
Both of them. Oh,
Well,
excellent.
there was a lot of
Well,
glowing eyes.
There was a lot of glowing eyes. It was both of them, and then
Who
the
in
guy's
fucking World of
hand glowed
Warcraft over here?
green.
Yeah,
So
I
he-
can't draw that with a pencil, sorry.
So he might be dealing with some sort of devout follower.
Well, we dealt with some devout followers before, Azarine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever thing they're following is not as friendly as what we've dealt with before.
All I know is we might be wasting breath on just discussing it. Because one way or another, it's going to have to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I think we should take them on surprise, even if it is their own turf.
I agree. I think that's our best chance
Umber.
at
Sorry, Azarine?
I think that's our best chance at a most optimal outcome. That way we also don't endanger the village. It may be
Right.
on their turf, but we'll have the surprise
Element of
factor.
Surprise, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Oh.
fellows are quite unbelievable. Even the 6 of us couldn't. There are 35 of them. We can't do all that by ourselves. No, but good news is we have an army.
Army
Yes.
is a fairly loaded term.
It's a work in progress, is what Miyamoto means to say.
Battalion, maybe not even that.
A militia would be the proper term.
Ah, but a militia with the power of surprise. And
Yes.
a thirst
Indeed.
for revenge.
How are they doing? I wasn't around.
They are slowly learning. Perhaps another full day is needed of training, just to have them at least somewhat ready. I mean, of
I
course. So, if I needed to really train them, it would take about a month or so. But we don't really have that element of time. But I can get them to stand correctly, and I can get them to thrust a killing thrust.
Oh,
Well,
that'll do. That's great.
I will assist in whatever way I can. I may
Oh.
not be good at carrying giant swords, but I've got a strong voice and a good I've got these, and she holds up her chakrams.
I thought she was gonna have her flex.
These boots.
These.
All right. Well,
These
Aslan,
flex.
I appreciate your vigor, but I like this is like I'm just going off of things that I've learned from the academies, like technical stances, but perhaps your voice will give us a nice energy to tomorrow's training.
I mean,
Well,
I
there are a
had to
few
learn how to
kids.
wield these somewhere.
I'm teaching a few kids how to swing some fireballs if you want to help with that.
You're what?
Oh, you didn't know? I just
Listen,
gotta
if the
defend
kids are gonna
themselves.
do damage, they gotta learn magic. Someone's gonna break the law.
But
It's in a controlled environment.
Not
They
what I
already
would consider controlled, but controlled enough.
That's what I would call controlled at all.
they already knew some spells. That didn't do anything.
They knew healing magic. I spoke with the vicar.
Hi.
You can use fire to close a wound.
Well,
Yeah, call it cauterizing in the face.
and also, just because someone knows healing magic doesn't mean they didn't dabble in something else. I mean, how do you think I
please, they're
learned?
kids. They've clearly tried it before.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna cauterize their souls right out of their bodies.
Yeah, maybe I should teach them how to turn air into knives.
See, I think that one's a little bit too dangerous.
Anyways, we are getting
We'll
ourselves
figure
off of topic. Tomorrow we will continue to train, including your magic.
Well, what do we do tonight, says Umber.
For now, I think all we can do is rest and recoup and maybe raise some morale. Maybe gather everybody together here in the
If I
tavern.
sleep again, do I just lose my hangover?
I mean, at this point, it's been like 18 hours. Your hangover's gone.
Did not get the best of sleep last night, so I will probably be going to bed. But we should have some sort of lookout, something to raise alarm if something does go wrong. Actually, Umber, do you know, like you're obviously the wandering and exploring type. Did you ever explore that crater that my compatriots went to before those occupants?
Yeah, I have before. That area is a lot more crag-ridden now than it was ever before. I don't know what happened. It's like some kind of earthquake happened over there. It used to be a lot flatter, just a gentle walk down to the sea.
Oh, I see. Well,
I don't know when it became the way it was. I don't know if it was a few months ago or a few years ago. It's been a long time since I've been through there, but it didn't always look like that.
was there a cave system before, or is a little underground system there before, or is that new? Because my Quill here was talking about
the thunder snakes have a tendency to burrow, but they don't have a tendency to burrow and then also lay secret walls with secret buttons. There might be some natural formations down there left over from their hives, but I don't think that there's anything more intricate. I would warn that if they are building off of that, then it's going to be a little bit wild and a bit crazy with dead ends. It's not going to be, city planning.
Right. I'm just trying to find a use. You helped us today, but I am also trying to find a use for you in your current state.
She looks at her hand and she kind of scratches her face. I'll find something. I still got good eyes.
Well,
I only need one
appreciate
hand for a short sword. I'll just strap a shield to this other one, I guess. I'm handy capable.
Then I expect to see you in formation training tomorrow morning.
She nods.
I am going to head off for bed. I've had a headache since this morning, and it's only been getting worse. Good night.
Drink plenty of water. Good night.
What's the watch order?
I have plenty of energy, so I can take first watch.
I'm gonna go number 2, like I always do.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask that you let Gareth go last. But I mean,
Can Umber?
go third.
Umber will go third.
Yeah.
You have
Cool.
NPCs who can take over for some of these shifts.
Rickhild will go 5th, which is a cool role where it means you can sleep in forever.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if she can get some rest, she'll
So
get all the rest she can get.
what am I rolling?
Well, you set up, it's just gonna be you, for the sake of this, I'm gonna just, I'm not gonna deafen or mute anybody, but I will just request that everyone be. You are out wandering through the crops, through the outskirts of the town. You're just trying to keep an eye out for anyone that might be around, and I'm gonna ask you to roll a perception check.
Perception. 15.
As you wander through the darkness, it feels a lot cooler now. The stars are out and it's quite beautiful. You see some nebula up above. There's actually 3 moons for this one, this particular setting. We have 2 smaller moons and then one much, much bigger one that kind of like helps light up the sky in a very extravagant green and teal tone.
That's normal, right?
Yes, that's normal.
Okay.
So if I say and I say that up because I know we have some kind of moon eldritch deity that might be in the setting. So if I describe 4 moons, you're fucked. Because there's only 3. There's only 3 moons.
Okay. Only 3.
Yep.
16 moons.
16 moons. So that's just there you go. There's 3 moons. And you're well lit with the sky above you, and so you're kind of just like wading through the grasses, and over off in the distance you see other townsfolk. Maybe it's Umber or someone else with like a lantern who's also like just doing watch as well, doing a short patrol. Why don't you roll a 1d6 for random encounter? Modified by your 15 perception roll, of course. Okay.
5.
You almost fall into a hole. And
Okay.
you look down and see a lantern lit, and it's Umber, who is digging a hole. Oh, hello.
Full on Umber.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Watch out for the hole.
Yeah, I noticed. What are you doing?
I thought if we had some trenches or something, then we could have some extra defense against them coming through. I thought maybe if they come plodding through on their horses and they're not looking, maybe they might fall in a trap or two. I'm a hunter by trade, and I thought maybe I could put some snare work to use beyond just good eyes.
Yeah,
However, I
that'd be
can't
good.
really dig with one arm. Anyway, I just wanted to do anything we can. We have time on our side, and I don't want to waste it just waiting around for them to show up or waiting for us to figure out how we're going to go to them. The land is a weapon. The land is a tool, and we should be using it.
Makes sense to me. Although you should have warned us because I almost fell in.
Everyone went to bed. I didn't want to wake anybody.
I mean, I was awake.
Well, okay. I'm going to stop for now anyway, because I can't really dig much further with just the one arm. But just, now you know.
Okay.
But-
I mean, if you wanted to keep working a little bit longer, I could assist.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Roll thought.
I'll. Okay. 13.
Okay. You spend some of your time just trying to help dig out this hole, which slowly becomes a trench over the course. It's not very deep. It's just like a few feet. But yeah, maybe a horse could really, really fuck itself up if it accidentally steps in this thing.
All right.
To be fair, a horse can fuck itself up if it sneezes wrong.
Yeah,
so
if it sneezes. If there's a
Mhm.
pebble in the way, it might just be obliterated. But yeah, I mean, if the horse is just like galloping as fast as it can, there's even a 1 foot gap, like all of a sudden, like it's just gonna go sailing. Hopefully, no horses were harmed in the making of this media. But yeah, you help her as much as you can before continuing on with your watch.
Hopefully every horse will be harmed in the morning.
We don't have to kill the horse. Hey, where are the horses?
Yes, but
Are
if
they
the horse dies, so does the rider, and that's where the money
They're
is.
soul bound. Azrain, your watch finishes uneventfully.
All right. I go and wake up Valerie.
And Monday.
Valerie, roll perception.
The caboose.
Oh, watch out for the trenches.
Oh,
That's performance. Just saying.
That is performance.
I am so fucking good
You
at pretending like I'm looking at stuff.
Valerie smooth jives her way across the fields, sending out those good vibes to all the people everywhere. Roll. Okay.
Okay.
With a matching
Dude,
perception
I'm just
score.
dancing around. I'm just chilling out.
You're having a good time.
Vibing.
You're vibing. All right, yeah, you're walking around the outskirts, going underneath some of the remaining trees and through the crops. At night, you get a taste of what this area is mostly supposed to be more like. The air feels a little bit more humid. It's warm, but it's not super uncomfortable, and like the ground feels a bit like softer under your feet. And it's not all just sand. It actually feels like dirt and soil. Roll a 1d6, please. Oh, okay. You continue around and have a good time, just kind of enjoying the cool air. This doesn't seem to have nothing happens. You don't see riders out on the distance. You don't see anything besides maybe a few dust devils that blow through off on the horizons. The night is very well lit, perhaps too well lit. Maybe they're waiting for the cover of darkness to come striking through, but nothing happens. Your night passes uneventfully.
Shit. I'm gonna go back inside and wake up. Or actually jump at a hole and just tell Umber that I'm going to bed.
Sure, she's been in bed and rested at this point, thanks to that.
Oh.
So you do procure her. She does her watch as well.
I wake Umber and lay my blanket.
Okay. Can you roll a 1d20 for me, Valerie?
1d20?
Yes, just a regular old-fashioned 1d20. Just slash R 20 d20. All right, that's
A 9.
a number. Roll a 1d6, please.
Oh no.
Well, they also
2.
The caboose too.
the caboose too.
2.
Valerie, you're trying to like fall asleep and get into bed when you hear a loud crashing sound
Oh fuck, I'm gonna kill myself and then everyone else in this village.
and a yell and a scream.
So I'm gonna casually wake every single person up.
Okay. Every single person is woken up. Roll athletics to see if you can literally wake everybody up. You have to run from room to room, sounding the alarm essentially.
But if I just like then push a bookshelf over?
I'll factor that in. There might be better ways to try and wake everybody up than bookshelf melts destruction.
I will push the bookshelf over and see if I can wake everyone up.
That was a guy after roll athletics to push the bookshelf over then. Thou shall roll. Exactly, you have to contend with that. You try as hard as you can, but you can't move the bookshelf. They're all made out of hardwood. It's horrible. They're bolted to the ground. Who did this? They're earthquake proof. You just run around as fast as you can, trying to wake up as many people as you can. You can pick 2 of your friends to wake up this round.
I will wake up Gareth and Azari.
Okay. Gareth, Asherin, you are awoken. There's a chainsaw in the other room. Apparently, there's been a scream out in the night. You both
As
have.
soon as he is woken kind of rapidly, like he immediately goes for the longsword and is like, well, what's going on?
I hear noises and then a scream, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to wake up all of the other soldiers.
All right, let's go.
Yep. All right.
All right. You are going to. We're moving on a round by round basis, and however many people you want to wake up is more time between you and actually helping whoever is in danger.
Gareth is like where was this? Where was the noise?
On the west side of the outskirts of the city.
Thank you, Valerie. West side, okay. And Gareth immediately just bolts for it.
All right. Valerie and Nazarene, do you follow suit? Do you try to wake Brookhill? Do you want to wake anybody else?
No, I think we're good just going on our own.
Miyamoto
Damn.
Or Quill.
Okay,
or...
bye.
Sorry, Brookhill. Yeah, there's also like your other 3
Miyamoto.
NPCs. Do you want to? I mean, Gareth is gone. That's up to the other 2 NPCs if they or 2 other players.
You woke up the level 3 fighter, but not the level 6.
I will
I guess we
will
can.
hang back and wake up Brookhild because
Okay.
no reason to not.
Why not Miyamoto?
Why not?
You should really wake up Miyamoto.
Yeah, wake
Oh
up.
wait, I have to choose. I'm waking up Miyamoto.
You have to use your action to wake up an NPC.
I will use my action to wake up Miyamoto
Wake
because
up
I
your
want two
boyfriend.
tanks in my party.
Okay. Zareen, do you wake up Brookhild? Then. Everybody roll initiative.
She might wake up if there's enough noise.
Wait, how do I select my
I'll have a roll
token when
Constitution
it
saving
doesn't
throws.
exist?
Don't worry about that. Just ignore it. It's a feature we don't use.
I got a 13.
I got a 5.
I have a whooping 0. I have a whooping no.
I'm just gonna say, Kara slept in his armor because I didn't have any hit dice to recover.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Just...
Cough, cough.
Oh, I'm just saying that because you opened up the fucking combat map.
I have level 5, big boy.
Did anybody wake up Brookhild this round?
No.
Gareth, you need to roll initiative, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How do I have a higher initiative modifier than you?
Because you have way more dexterity.
Right.
You're a dex build, he's a strength build.
Backflip every time you're ready for combat.
True.
And apparently you failed that backflip.
Yeah. Listen, I'm groggy.
Alright, well, nobody's woken up. Anybody, or people who've been woken up are not. Let's see, how am I going to figure this out here? Gareth, you just ran, so you get around.
Yep.
Garrett, though, ran away from his crew.
Excellent.
I mean, that's what he always does, so are we really surprised?
Well, I think this time it's actually working out in favor.
Yeah, because who the fuck got attacked is the issue. Because if they're not attacking me, then they're all going to attack someone who probably can't fight.
I have but a humble person. Ew.
It better not be Umber again. Wait, who is that?
It's not Umber.
Is it Euripides?
It's your
Where
no.
Where
I'm
is
just looking at
Umber?
the colors.
You don't see Umber right now.
Oh, great.
This is Gareth and Gareth alone right now because Gareth is going to have a round between him and the enemy alone. Then Valerie and Azrin are going to be allowed to join. Then Brookhild is going to be allowed to join.
Do I
and
see
whoever
who
else
made
was
the
woken up.
scream? Or
Yeah, you head outside and run through the dirt, through the sands to where you heard the scream from, or where Valerie told you she heard the scream from. And up ahead, you see through the grass, through the trees, 2 tall individuals in black armor and dark capes.
Am I fucking for real?
And you
Can I
see
be a little bit closer so I can actually move up and fight?
If you were the one who was on watch, then yes, but you were the one who was woken up.
Fuck right off.
I'm just saying, he who does the watch gets the advantage when it comes to if something bad happens.
Yeah, but
It's just the way it is. We
I
roll
could
we
do
roll a
it.
1d6 to see if something
Garrett gets
happens.
around, he can't do anything in this round, but alright.
Well, that's all right. It's still an advantage against you. Also, it makes you think that they're not going to come at you.
Can I shoot one?
No, 'cause you're waking
After
someone up.
we'll see how Valerie is back waking up Miyamoto, and Brookhill and stuff like that. That's why you're over there on the far column. So, Gareth, it is your turn. You see 2 tall individuals. Definitely, you recognize them as one of the Dark Riders from the other day.
And this is the innocent?
You see, but it's the old man, farmer from before.
Hell.
He is bloodied.
He is bloody, huh? Can I?
Finish the job, take him down, and then kill the other guards.
I actually gave Gareth even more movement than I meant to. You have as much bonus as I could possibly be willing to give you right now.
Yeah, alright.
It is your...
Gareth
Yeah.
is gonna move right here. So I'm just gonna bop. And he is
Gonna growl at him.
no, actually, he from one of his fucking boots
Hot.
pulls out a dagger and just throws it.
All right, make an attack action.
Because you can throw daggers even if you're not fit. Like
Totally fine. I completely agree.
fuck.
It skids off the ground and bounces up into them, but not with enough force to penetrate their armor. But you do get
Hits
the one's
old man
attention.
in the neck.
Is that the end of your turn, Gareth?
Yeah, it's the end of my turn.
All right, it's enemy phase. Your friends are predisposed right now. This one approaches you, and just throws a sword forward, thrusting it in your direction. And I know how much you love the dice.
Let me see them dice, baby. Ooh, too bad.
Oh,
Ooh,
doesn't it?
too bad. Ooh, too bad. Fuck.
They have 2 attacks, but I respect your decisions.
Oh, hold up. I get a D8. Does a 14 hit?
Well, hold on, it's not your turn yet.
No, I repost.
You
I'm using
riposte.
my reaction.
Ah, I see. Yes, a 14 does hit the enemy.
Cool.
Bingo.
10, baby.
That's not bad. Yeah, you duck underneath the blade and thrust up quickly. You get him right underneath the armpit through the armor, and blood begins to trickle down. So it's quite a harrowing blow, really. That's not bad, actually. Okay, and then they raise up their sword again, and they go for their second attack, which is the 22.
22, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right.
That hits.
I was wondering if it saved a 2D. Didn't. Okay, that's fine. I can just roll. Take 9 points of slashing damage.
Tasty. All right.
And that's the end of that one's turn. This one approaches this person and raises up their sword.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's gonna hit on old man. Takes 5 points of damage.
How's he looking?
That is the majority of his health.
Oh.
Old man. He's an old man. He's not wearing armor, and though he is astute and ready to fight, his hit points are like around 10. He's a level 0 peasant essentially. Could have been killed outright on one turn, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so Gareth and enemy got 1 free turn. Now we're back at the top of the round with Gareth's real turn, and now after Gareth, we're going to start real initiative. Gareth, we're back.
Wonderful.
Valerie and Azarin see this. This is where you turn the corner and you see you're here now.
Okay.
So Gareth's turn begins now.
Gotta spin one of those die. All right.
Valerie, you got to turn off the super hyper,
The super hyper. You gotta do snap to grid, dude.
snap to yeah.
Snap to center.
I don't know where that is. It's on the left, I think. Yeah, just gotta click.
It's on the left, and just hover over the ruler tool, and it should say just snap to center. There
Yeah,
you
right.
go.
All right, Gareth, what do you do?
All right. So, Gareth, kind of seeing this man as hurt, yells after him. You can't
You can't do that.
No, you can't let them take you out like that. And he gains 6 temporary hit points.
What the fuck?
Rally, baby.
All right. Ooh, how do I represent that? Okay. I'll say
Just
shield.
temporary hit points.
The old man grows muscles.
And since it's temporary, it can go over his max.
It can't go over his max.
No, it can.
It can go over his max. That's fine. So 8 temporary. I'm just gonna say that he just has. I'll just remember that he has a barrier of 8 HP before he
Okay.
can. That's fine. That's fine.
And that's just my bonus action, baby.
I'm all about it. That's a cool ability. I'm surprised I haven't seen that in some of my other campaigns, actually.
Yeah.
Garrett just fucking does 20
Well,
things
'cause
per
I
I use
turn.
that. I have to steal that.
Yeah.
I know certain
it
jackknives.
costs one of my valuable fucking combat die.
That's true. I like stuff that uses bonus actions. It's like, ooh, oh,
Like, this party has a determination not to let any NPC die. It's
Yeah.
like forbidden.
I'm
Tragic
shocked
heroes.
I was able to take Dolman from you, to be honest. It was.
Well, because I was predisposed with Alexander.
It's the only
Yeah.
one you're taking.
I had to take out potentially six NPCs at once in order to take even
I mean,
one
like,
of them.
I mean, even if we killed, like, the Emerald Knight, do you think the Dark-Eyed Prince himself would have been like, oh yeah, you know what? You earned it. You can keep your boyfriend. Like, no. He was
Only
like, ha, that's
time-
very funny. I cast fuck you.
Oh, I cast fuck you. I cast power word kill, and that word is fuck you.
Alright.
But we'll see how that happens in the future.
Ah!
You swipe back, but these are able-bodied soldiers. They jump over your blade and riposte their own. He is actually going to use an actual physical riposte. I don't believe that hits though.
That don't hit, baby.
That is the end of your turn, Gareth.
Yep.
Valerie, where do you?
I'm gonna. Oh, actually,
Can
I'm
I
gonna
can I
stay within his
actually-
range, but
am
I'm
I
gonna get closer
done?
to the man.
Fair.
am I done waking up Miyamoto?
Oh yeah, you did. You missed the first round because of that. Miyamoto is now just behind you. So after you move, then Miyamoto will join. And then after Azarine moves, then Brukil will be in for the next go around as well with Miyamoto.
I'm move up here, and I'm gonna shoot.
In fact, I got Miyamoto and other
I'm
NPCs.
gonna shoot this boy with a crossbow after moving forward.
Okay.
Shoot that guy. Haha.
Shoot
That
back.
guy shot.
You get him. Roll that damage.
Haha. Haha.
Fuck, dude.
Oh boy.
That guy turns around to try and like swipe at Gareth. He's just like rolling around him, Dark Soul style, going for the backstab, and he raises up his sword, and then the arrow just goes straight through the back of his neck and out the front of his neck.
Ouchie.
And
Valerie,
he's dying, but not dead yet.
Valerie
Holy shit, 10
waves
piercing
at
damage.
Gareth.
That's a lot of fucking damage.
Mhm.
But yeah, you that's the end of your turn, Valerie. You still have your bonus action.
Yep, I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay. Azarine.
No cool
Yes.
bonus action skills at level
Oh.
5 yet.
Sorry, Azarine. It's
Oh.
it is the enemy's turn.
Oh.
On me.
On old man.
No.
No!
Oh no.
Old man's temporary hit points are removed.
Oh.
This is now this is against you, Gareth.
So
Okay,
the
bastard.
spell that you didn't die, that does not work.
All right, so I think that's a crit on that first guy
Oh.
attack against you,
Yeah, that's a crit on me.
and the 14 I do not think hits.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to double these two d6s.
Okay.
So that is a 8 times 2, 16. You take 16 slashing damage. This person's in their death throes, and it gives them this unbridled rage and courage to kind of throw caution to the
Jesus
wind.
fucking
And they just
Christ.
start carving into you as tight as they can. They sense the death of their own is imminent, but they're trying to take you down with them. Now it's Azarine's turn.
All right.
Also, this old man, he rolls swiftly out of the way of the sword coming down, as per the emboldened request of Gareth. But the second blade strike hit him in the stomach, and he gets significantly hurt. Azarine, we are in your hands. Your capable fish hands.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Fuck
I
my
love
God.
that.
Oh my god, Cap.
I love it.
Oh god, there's something in memes, isn't there?
Nope.
It's on.
No, there's something in D&D.
Oh lord, I'll watch that in a moment.
So I'm just gonna be here. These guys are like enemies, right?
To learn how to wield these
Or are they
somewhere.
are people?
I'm teaching a few kids.
Sorry,
how to-
Don't aim at the one that looks different.
This one?
Yeah, they're friendly.
Friendly.
They're also dying.
Alright. I don't think I can. How far does this hit?
Pink is the color of friend.
Okay. That's 60 feet. How far is 60? God damn it, if only you were like 3 squares closer.
God damn it, cat.
I guess I'm gonna use my full
Sorry.
action to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm gonna just use my action as movement.
Alright.
And I think that's... Wait...
Still have your bonus action.
She's within!
Well, it's he.
And he. So I'm gonna cast Invigoration
Mm.
at let's do second level.
Mm-hmm.
So they get 10 points of heals.
They are healed back to full.
Yay!
You do not like it. You do not want any NPC to die.
It's just like,
one
no!
Nobody
No.
dies.
Cease!
Well, yeah, okay.
Cease and desist!
Gareth, it's your turn. Gareth dying.
Garrett kind of, that one hurt. 16 damage, huh?
Oh, buddy.
Oh, ooh.
Ooh, buddy.
That would be a moderate hit if you were a slightly higher level, you know.
Ooh, buddy.
Ooh.
Oh my shit is. Sorry, can you hear me? My shit is breaking.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's.
I need to find a way to have like a different portrait
But
token, but
Garrett's gonna be fine. Garrett's gonna be fine. Garrett's gonna be fine.
Okay. Let's see the
One-
D10.
1d10 plus 3.
I think you being alive is pretty much the only reason that we can keep old man alive. So if you go down, he goes down, essentially.
Yeah.
it's just an old guy. Why are you all?
Death to the old and feeble.
No,
No, the old and feeble are
And
hot.
then
we
fuck
didn't
you.
call Dolman just an old guy.
He was 50. He wasn't old.
He was ripe like a banana.
I
14
hit-
hits,
I hit
yes.
that. Yeah.
Nine slashing.
Dead?
Yep.
Cool.
You carve into the
Get on
side and bury your sword deep. It cuts through some of the chainmail and plate beneath, and blood trickles down the blade and starts to soak the blue fabric. And the person goes limp and falls forward onto the ground, their sword clanging off of the dirt.
And Gareth immediately runs up. He does not look happy.
So at the end of your turn,
That's the end of my turn, because I already used my bonus action.
Valerie, it is your turn.
I'm gonna do something possibly mean. Ah, lucky bastard. Or is he lucky?
If you miss, Gareth is going to get hit by it.
I can't miss Cloud of Daggers.
There you go. I'm all about it.
Oh, did not mean to hit that again, sorry.
30. They're in range for Cloud of Daggers now.
All right. The signature.
Now, I can actually legitimately cast Cloud of Daggers at second level because I'm level 5.
Sounds good.
Do you really need to?
I mean, this dude is at max health. And he is at max health, so
That guy
I
hasn't
mean,
been hurt
yeah.
yet, so.
But we killed the other one in like 2 rounds. Like, I mean,
All right, roll the damage for me. 16 points of damage.
Wahoo!
The air phases in and out of existence, and all of a sudden 1,000 blades just spawn, seemingly out of nowhere. They put up their arms to kind of like defend their face in those soft pieces. As he starts to have multiple cuts, starts shredding at parts of his armor. Or her, you don't know. Valerie's at the end of your turn.
Yep.
It is enemy phase. They use the disengage action.
I don't know if they do I don't know if I can actually tick them for damage if they do disengage.
When they enter the spell for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
it starts its turn there.
I guess it started its turn there. I'll have to look that
Roll
up
that
later.
damage!
But yeah, roll the damage for now, but I think I am going to have to look up that
Yeah.
later, because that does seem weird being able to do back-to-back 64 damage. I don't feel like that. That doesn't make sense to me, but I will let it go for now. Another 16? That's pretty good.
Is it dead?
Nope, they do not die.
What? The other one, I thought.
That thing is like
32?
sturdy.
Yeah,
me
pretty
see.
good. Yeah, the other one did die sooner, but they don't have the same HP.
Of course.
That one sees that it is losing the fight and disengages and runs into the darkness. Does anybody give pursuit, or are you gonna let it go?
shoot that guy, haha.
Okay. It is technically Azarine's turn if anybody's gonna pursue.
Can I shoot that guy, haha, from here?
Well, he's off the map, so we don't know.
What's the range? Yeah, it's you guys are limited by darkness, unfortunately. And he's able to move pretty significant. Okay. I'm gonna move us out of initiative, and well, I'm gonna keep the initiative order, but the battle mat is no longer useful to us.
Okay.
Ezrine, roll a perception check. You cannot see in the dark.
No.
You do not see them.
Right.
Perception.
Also, even people
all
who
have-
have dark vision still only have it up to a certain distance, and even then, like, your vision cuts out eventually anyway.
7.
Okay, you're looking around the darkness and you hear them and you pursue. You're just running as fast as you can through the darkness. You know they're wounded. You can probably finish them off, but you can't find them with a 7. I'm afraid that's your action. There's nothing that you can really do. Technically, next would be Brookehild. But no, she's awake and she's outside. She's alive because someone took the time to wake you up. But I don't know if there's anything you
I
can
don't
do
remember.
anyway. Yeah.
I don't think anyone. What?
Yeah, Azrine woke you up. It's just that it was so delayed because someone had to wake up
Oh.
Azrine, and then Azrine woke up you, and it's like a fucking domino effect. We're like, okay, by the time we finally get to you, now we're here. Because
Yeah, it's like if she just like walks out and everything's already done. And it's just like
yeah, you're running out and you're flanked by Miyamoto and Quill and like a dozen other townsfolk with torches and pitchforks. But by this time it seems like everything's kind of been taken care of. That would leave kind of Gareth next in line to see if he wanted to pursue after them as well. But I don't know if he
Gareth's
can get much.
running.
Okay. What's your dark vision? I think it's up to 60 feet. You see
It's
dim
60
light.
feet, but then afterwards, it's still dim light.
Okay, in dim light, you make perception checks with disadvantage.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay, so I run my full thing, my
You run
30.
your 60 feet.
Yeah.
You're
my
30.
60
Sorry,
feet.
you're 30 feet because you need your action to potentially do whatever it is you're going to do. You
Right.
do
So
not.
I'm gonna first see.
They're not
if I
within
see
30
within
feet
30.
of you.
So they're not within 90 feet of me after moving 30 feet and then being able to see 60.
No. But you can use your action to roll a perception check to see if you can still find them.
Perception, huh?
Yeah, you'd have to use your action to try and clean. Can't find them. You can see better in the dark than Azrine can, but even you are limited by, like, light photons. But you cannot find them.
Wait, do I actually have dark vision as a half elf?
I think you
No,
do.
I don't think so.
I
Do
don't,
that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we
I
have to
think
double
it's
check.
just Azrine who doesn't have dark vision.
I have actually no
I'm
idea.
the only one who has no
That's
dark.
fine. Dark vision isn't as
Oh yeah, I have
powerful as
dark
it seems
vision
on
up
paper.
to 60 feet.
A lot of DMs don't remember the fact that like it means that basically up to 60 feet people can just do normal like perception stuff, but then after that people still have to make perception checks, but they're at disadvantage because dim light just means you make perception checks at disadvantage, and after that you just cannot make perception check. So having dark vision just means you get 30 extra feet of seeing beyond what another person would, but it's not as powerful as I feel people run it, and I really hate to say that. Because dark vision's cool, but it is an encouragement to
I mean,
potentially
it's
carry
cool,
light
but
with you.
Everybody gets it, so
Yeah,
it
everybody
can't
gets
be
it.
that good because everybody gets it.
Yeah, and also it's like your adventures packs have like a billion torches in them for a reason. So if you guys wanted to bust out some lights and lanterns, then you'd get a better benefit. But I don't think you can see them. If you want, you can spend another action looking. Like I'm not going to stop you, but I don't know if you're going to find them or not. What do you guys do?
Should
Gareth's
we
gonna
look?
continue to look.
Okay, Gareth rolls
I'll
another
help
perception
him.
check as he's looking. I'm Gareth. I'm not saying that they are or are not within your zone of seeing. You just haven't seen them yet via your perception
Right.
checks. And
Can
what
I
I'm
give
doing
him
is
advantage?
uh,
Yes.
you're both helping each other, but yeah, Azrine, you can give him an advantage, but there's
Oh,
a
no,
limit on
okay.
how far both of you can see. Basically
Fuck
normal.
me.
What
Fuck
you're
me.
giving him advantage up to 30 feet, and then you're just normalizing the roll from 30 feet to 60 feet, and you don't
You-
see
you-
him with those rolls, unfortunately.
No. You mean from 60 feet to 90? Like, because I don't have disadvantage.
You're
on-
factoring in your movement as part of your ability to see, and that's very confusing.
No. I can see up to 60 feet without moving.
You can see up to 30 feet as if it's bright light.
I can see up to 60 feet as
It's
if it's bright
60.
light.
It's dark vision 60.
Yeah, and then half of it is...
No, dim light
No.
after 6 feet.
Oh,
60
it's dim light after 60 feet. Okay, well, that's fine. Well, then I am incorrect, though it does not change the roll. You still do not see it.
Fuck.
Oh, that's dark vision, the spell. God damn it. Oh, never mind. Let's look it up later.
Great.
What a horrible.
Dark vision with a spell is much more than 60 feet of vision.
I can't find anything. Everything's renamed. I just
But I
want to.
don't
I
know if
wanted
any
to
of
read
us
it because
have-
that way I'll actually remember it because I am
I don't
a
know
visual
if any
learner.
of us have dark vision spells, though.
No.
A
Yeah.
lot of us have dark vision, just no spells for it.
I'm afraid you cannot find them. I will say that with your with some of those perception checks, you do hear hoof falls out off in the distance. So at some point, this
Did I
this guy
also
got
hear?
on his horse. I don't know. Roll perception. Also, at this
I'll
point,
see if I can
Gareth has run like
make a
60 feet out into like the wilderness to try and chase this person. So there's a significant
Oh.
distance between you two. Yeah, you hear hooves. Like they might be hundreds of
You
feet
know what?
away.
I have plenty of bolts. I'm just gonna shoot one
Okay.
in the direction of a noise.
You can't see him, so it's going to be a disadvantage. Yep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. I'm afraid that bolt is broken. You can't find it after shooting it out into the
I don't
darkness.
think I'd even find a crossbow bolt that fired 80 feet away from me.
Yeah, who knows? At some point, you deduce that he disengaged, he ran away, he got on his horse, and just started galloping.
That's the second time these bitches have just run away, which it has gotten bad.
Well, you know, the modus operandi, right? But you are, however, left with a alive old man who is very thankful and very wounded, who approaches whoever's left around. Gareth and Azarine ran off into the
Gareth found
wilderness.
returns after like
Okay.
he can't.
Valerie and Brookhild and several of the townsfolk are consoling the old man, the elderly gent, who is alive and well, and you are also left with just a dead body.
His armor, like what size is it?
Human-sized.
Sucks to be you, big boy.
No. He still starts to unarmor him because he had a helmet on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can, why don't you roll an investigation check for me, and whoever else would like to as well.
Okay. Invest.
Yep.
Gotcha. Ain't gonna be good.
That's not great,
I suppose I will assist.
Sure. Gareth can, oh yeah, that's probably for the best anyway, because she has the modifier.
DM, I did look up dark vision in the player's handbook. Do you want me to read the description?
lay it on me!
Dark vision. Many creatures in the world of D&D, especially those that dwell underground, have dark vision. Within a specified range, a creature with dark vision can see in dim light as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light, so areas of darkness are only lightly obscured as far as the creature is concerned. However, the creature cannot discern color in that darkness, only shades of gray.
And that doesn't make any reference of
It does
distances,
not.
does it?
It does not say anything about distances. It just says
it's
if
60
it is
feet.
dark,
The character
it's in
trait
black
is 60
and white
feet.
as if it's dim light, and dim
Yeah.
light is described as also called shadows, creates a lightly obscured area. An area of dim light is usually a boundary between a source of bright light, such as a torch, and surrounding darkness.
Okay.
The soft light of twilight and dawn also counts as dim light. A particularly brilliant full moon might bathe the land in dim light.
Okay, so
That's it.
in the I'll figure that out later, but that actually makes a lot more sense now that I can hear the hear it laid out. Yeah, continue. The 19 investigation. Okay. Brookhild, you're kind of like just going over this body for the most part. Gareth beginning to unhinge their armor. It is dark, some kind of dark metal that is very bent and very worn, very scratched. It's not good armor. It is just encompassing by virtue of being a lot of mass, but it's not like well designed or well fitting. Some chainmail is wrapped amongst it as well. However, in their various pouches and belts, you find a dagger.
Mm-hmm.
You find 220 gold pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and you find a small shiny stone. Looks like mica or something like that.
God, I wish I had that fucking spell to like ask questions to the dead. Gareth would hate it, but it's fine.
No, I absolutely would hate it.
Gareth
There's-
unhelms this person, and it just appears to be a very mundane-looking, fit woman. Some scars on her face.
I wasn't actually looking for loot. I was actually looking for like, stuff like amulets, like symbols, like notes, like communication.
No, that's fine. I mean, while you're pouring around their place, like while you're You have to filter through their pockets to search for any of those people. You don't find anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's
How much
runes
gold- hold
carved into
on.
their
How much
armor.
gold did you
220.
say again, just real quick.
220.
220. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. But the main thing that Gareth was doing was that he was trying to take those armor pieces and reuse them for something later.
Has a strong sense of justice, has no problem with looting corpses.
To be fair, the corpse did try to assassinate him.
Yeah.
You can procure the armor if you want. You can add 1 suit of bent armor to your inventory.
Done.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to question the old man because I want to know what the fuck happened there.
Yes. We should talk to him. What was his name again? Out of character. Fuck.
I don't think he told us.
He definitely gave us his name.
He's from
I
the
think.
Alden family.
Yes. Mr. Alden, are you all right?
He's a little. Roll a either a general charisma check or a persuasion if you're proficient in it, because he's a little shooketh.
I think we should take him to the vicar first.
Yes. Here, let me help you up. And he does kind of offer his hand to.
All right.
To.
He'll take it if you lead him down to the vicar. That'd be good. After you do that.
Yep.
Okay, you do that. You bring him down to the vicar. The vicar provides some basic first aid and kind of like helps calm him down, and eventually he's able to take some deep breaths and have some normal conversation.
Excellent. So what happened?
I was out in the wood on my shift for the watch when I came across those two just down in the bush by the waters, by the mire. I think that they were spying on us. I tried to scream for someone to come, but they were upon me almost instantly. I'm lucky to be alive.
You did well.
Thank you for saving.
Of course.
I suppose I was right to trust the 4 of you.
Excuse me, sir. Where did you find them? By the mire?
There's a small stream down by the entrance to this town. Nothing fancy, nothing exceptional. It just has some extra bush to hide in. I think that's why they wanted to be done. You're welcome to look if you'd like. I don't know if you'll find anything now. I only saw the 2 of them. Oh no, I killed one of them with my power.
Salty died.
Salty died.
Brugil turns to, and I guess, like, who's here? Gareth, the vicar, the old man.
Gareth, Miyamoto, Quill, like everybody.
Right.
There's whoever you want
The
to be
gang's
here
all
is
here.
here. Yeah, the gang's all here.
Okay.
Bells were rung. The church was like ding 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 ding, like sound like a literal
She
alarm
just
was
tries to
sounding.
whisper to, like, someone of, like, her groups. Why would they bring him back to the village? He was right outside.
What? DM's confused by your sentence.
No. He ran and tried to scream, and then they.
Oh, I thought they got him, like, when he saw them, and then they would have brought him back, like, to the... No, I got confused.
Ah,
I suppose we're canceling the watch. Nobody gets murdered.
Or just more sturdy people.
Alright.
There are 7 of us. That's plenty of hours. I will continue in this man's stead.
Thank you, Miyamoto. I'm going to rest up a bit. Gareth is hurt.
that's fine.
Like, he used his
How badly are you hurt?
I didn't go into restless endurance, but I was at 1 HP before I did a second wind.
Oh,
What the
yeah.
fuck? You are so
So
weak.
here, take this.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that.
That's 9.
9? Okay, nice.
Because I cast it at 2nd level.
Excellent. Okay.
And she just says, never gets old healing the big guy.
She did.
That crit was pretty rough.
That crit was very rough. I was like, yeah, I'll take this damage.
Valerie's like,
It'll be fine. Even if I get hit this turn, I'll still run out and I'll take like an attack of opportunity so that I can kill this dude and I can hope my friends kill the guy who I left. But then he crit, I'm like, oh, this hurts.
Valerie's
That's
crossing her arms and looking the other direction. And then she tilts her head and she sighs and walks over to Gareth and like pats him on the shoulder and casts healing word but keeps walking.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep. Back at full, baby.
Back at
Maybe in
full.
the
I,
next-
I don't have healing
maybe
word,
in
but
the
I have
next-
Eldritch Blast if you want that.
Oh my god.
Maybe in the next couple of days you train yourself up and get a little bit stronger.
I need to. Perhaps. And Garrett just turns and goes to bed. He goes back to bed.
He's
Miyamoto
not
and
gonna do it.
Quill will finish the rest of the shifts for you guys. You're free to go back and resume your long rests.
Before following suit, she just like looks at like I'm assuming the nearest person is either Quill or Miyamoto.
Just Quill at this point. Miyamoto's already.
Quill. She looks over at Quill and she's like, "He's not gonna do it."
Quill shrugs. Walkaholics.
Darn stubborn, big, red.
And she just goes.
Brooklyn nods, is like, yeah, same wish. Yeah.
Agreed.
Well. Let's see. Before you go, who's left? Let me see. Azarine?
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess you're the last one who's awake by virtue of simply being the last to go. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to have some question and answer time with the two of us tomorrow, if that is all right.
Sure, that's perfectly okay.
Wonderful.
Well,
I shall make tea and everything.
Brooklyn squints.
ooh, tea. I will see you then. And then she goes to bed.
Brookhill, were you there? Because literally Quill was just thought, I, as a DM, thought that
I thought-
Azarine was the last one in the room.
I mean, I guess she was leaving, but
And if you want Brookhill to be there, that's fine, but it will change the story, and that's why I'm asking you. So we have the binary, you have to make a
oh,
choice.
okay, no.
Okay, that's fine. Because if you're there, then that's fine. I'm not going to say, oh, he doesn't do that. Rather the opposite. He'd be like, well, you're also here, so let me say something to you as well. Someone's click-clacking into the microphone. They got to watch the fuck out.
Sorry.
So, yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have anything else?
Oh, I'm just going back to bed.
We're going to stop here.
Wahoo!
Yeah, we're going to pause here. We're going to pick up next time. We're back from our little holiday,
okay.
and we're going to resume at a later date. You guys have gotten a lot of clean information, as well as some extra money. By
See you
virtue of
next Christmas, everyone.
See you next Christmas. Yeah, so we're going to go. I'm going to end the stream, and I'm going to get gone.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.